For 45 years, heartbreak has plagued Falmouth. Since 1980, the Cape Cod crown has stayed just out of reach. And last season, the Commodores took a step backward.
2024 season comes to an end on a rainy night at Spillane Field as the Gatemen close it out and defeat the Commodores.
But this summer, everything changes. A new era begins at Fuller Field with a new voice in the dugout. 2013 World Series champion Jared Saltalamacchia is here to lead the charge.
Swinging a line, right base hit into left field. That's the ball game. The Red Sox have rallied to win game 2. They've won it. The Sox have won it 6-5. Jared Saltalamacchia with a walk-off base hit.
New leadership, new hunger, and one mission: bring Cape Cod glory back to Falmouth. So wherever you are, sit down and get ready. The doors are on the air. This is Falmouth Commodores baseball, and it starts right now.
Game 28 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season brings us back to McKeon Park for meeting number 4 between a pair of West Division rivals in the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Falmouth Commodores. Welcome into Opening the Door alongside my partner, Ben Haller. I'm Andrew Della Piana. Ben, let's start what happened last night in Falmouth. A get-right game for the Commodores, 3-1 victors over the Firebirds, with the pitching really making the difference.
There were two guys that I don't think anybody expected to step up for Falmouth, but the two guys they really needed to step up. Jeremy Arena had a spectacular start, just the 3 innings. And then how about Everett Garber in relief? I didn't know if we expect to even see him that early, let alone be a real factor. Neither of them gave up a run. And the offense did just what it needed to do. Again, the story is Arena and Garber.
And the bats kind of picking up as well. Justin Osterhaus was kind of the if-so hero last night with a pair of extra base hits. He goes long in the 8th inning to give him that insurance for Joe Sabbath to really get the job done the 9th.
He was one of the guys who has not hit a home run to that point going into yesterday, where I was like, it was only a matter of time before he broke out. And I think he's been making a lot of really solid contact. Had a lot of home runs at Purdue Fort Wayne last year, 15 to be exact. So I was not surprised to finally see one go over the yard or go over the fence. And again, I think he's somebody that in that 5-hole, having to move up in the lineup a little bit, he needs to step up. There are a lot of guys that need to play just a little bit better. If Osterhaus can kind of find his groove, that's going to be big.
Yeah, huge monkey off the bat for him last night to get that home run. As we get forward into tonight's matchup, two teams in the West that are really struggling right now. Both teams getting rid of losing streaks from last night's victories, but the Harbor Hawks on the last hand, a really, really tough month of July it's been.
Yeah, you look at these standings right now. You look at the change from one week to another. I don't really know. Only explanation for it is just how jumbled up it's been. I mean, this is a two teams that were tied for first place really for a long period of time, and then both of them obviously have not been their weeks. They're both excited for the All-Star break and the timing for the break coming up.
Absolutely, but one more matchup on hand before the All-Star break coming up after the break here on Opening the Door.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: 99 Restaurants, Badger Sports, The Baldwin Group, Bluebird Dennisport, Bridgewater State University, Cape Destinations. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Whether you own a car, home, business, or investment property, it's critical you keep it secure and protected. Since 1989, our friends at Northeast Insurance Solutions have been the trusted insurance agency to serve the Commonwealth. Visit them on the web at insurewithnortheast.com or at their offices, 100 Ledgewood Place in Rockland.
Opening the Door rolls on here from McKeon Park before Falmouth takes on Hyannis. Dan Papillo here, joined by Vanderbilt pitcher Jacob Schultz. And Jacob, last night you pitched in the setup role. You pitched in the 8th inning. How did that feel? You got a good outing last night. How does that feel?
It was cool. Just being a part of the win. Nice pitch. With Joe coming in right after me. It's good. It's nice.
Yeah, you can't complain about that. And how does it feel to have a guy like Joe Sabbath behind you, to shut down the door in that role behind you in the 9th inning?
Yeah, it's cool. He's been pretty good at it so far, so very confident in Joe.
Is there a different mentality that comes when you're coming in that spot, knowing that you kind of just have to keep the door open a little bit?
I think it's cool. It's it's almost you watch a lot of big league games growing up, and they got defined roles like that, and it's cool to feel like, you're doing something with a cool defined role, and, it's cool.
It's definitely cool, and you're doing a pretty good job at it, enough that he got some recognition, and he got announced as an all-star. Congratulations on that. How'd you find out about your all-star selection?
A couple of my buddies from school saw it on Instagram, I think, and they called me, said I made it, and I thought they were just messing with me, but I guess it was cool. It's really cool, so grateful.
Clearly not a joke, and is there anything you're looking forward to at Red Wilson Field tomorrow?
I think it should just be a cool baseball environment, very baseball purist, got a bunch of fans there, supposedly, so it'll just be a cool day, cool environment. Looking forward to it.
100%. It's going to be a great time. Best of luck to you at the All-Star Game. Andrew, back to you.
Game 28 of the Cape Cod Baseball League season. We are back here at McKeon Park for what feels like the first time in a little bit. Meeting number 4 on the season between the Hyannis Harborhawks and your Falmouth Commodores. Alongside my partner, Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano. Ben, both teams coming into this one. The Harborhawks breaking a 5-game losing streak last night with a victory over Chatham. Same could be said for the Commodores breaking a 4-game losing streak. Both good pitching efforts, to say the least, from both sides, but Falmouth, on the other hand, really needed that to get off the schneid.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. Something's got to give, Andrew, because I think the last week it feels like every single result for the Commodores and the Harborhawks have been the exact same. The season trajectory has been very much the same for both of these teams. About a week and a half ago, we're sitting tied for first place in this West Division, and then they've fallen a little bit. Both getting wins yesterday, but before yesterday they were tied for last place in the division. It has been a wild ride for the whole division.
Well, first pitch coming up in just a little bit as we have our national anthem. We'll send things to a quick break here on Cape League TV. The home of the Hyannis Harborhawks, again for meeting number 4 between Hyannis and Falmouth as we get towards the back end of the season. Ben kind of hit the nail on the head just before we went to break when the standings have completely flipped in this one, where Wareham about a week or two ago was sitting in the bottom of the league. They've won 7 straight. These two top teams were tied for the lead in the division, but oh, have the mighty have fallen in a crucial matchup tonight. Were a little bit better for the Commodores in that third meeting a little bit earlier this month. Really just cannot get past this Harborhawks team, Ben. It's been frustrating.
I think the Harborhawks offense early in games in those first 3 matchups was something that's been off the charts. It's something that's been a problem for Falmouth this year, is just starting pitching. And you're going to see that with Blake Palmer on the mound, see if he can improve on his last appearance at Wareham.
He gets the start tonight. We'll see him in the bottom of the first inning. But for Hyannis tonight, it is the rising redshirt sophomore from Nebraska, Carson Yassa, who gets the baseball for the Harborhawks. He makes start number 4 here on Cape Cod. And his numbers, Ben, they really jump off the screen after a pretty solid season this past redshirt freshman year with the Cornhuskers.
Yeah, he's another guy that, a lot like TJ Coates kind of, was someone who took a lot of innings for this Nebraska team, And it's a Nebraska team that gave up a lot of runs this past season. But kind of like a lot of different pitchers we've seen, just been able to find a groove, taking advantage a little bit early in the season of those hitters getting adjusted to the wood bats. Something that really jumps off the page about Yasa is that fastball.
Yeah, that can top out at around 97 miles per hour from the Colorado native. The lineup he goes against tonight for the Commodores: Carl Schmidt, the DH, leads off. The shortstop, Adrian Lopez, bats second. Mike Anu out in center field, bats third. In the cleanup spot, the first baseman, Kent Schmidt. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Justin Osterhaus. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Ashton Wilson. Batting seventh is the catcher, Eddie Yaman. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Reese Maroney. And rounding out the order, playing right field, is Antonio Morales. The defense behind Carson is left to right in the outfield, Charlie Bates, Owen Prince, Devin Mitchell. Left to right in the infield, Miles Davis, Jake Schaffner, Jeff Luigi, and Gabe Camacho, with Brody Briggs doing the catching for Yasso. Tonight's umpires: third base umpire Keith Peterson, first base side Jake Brichta, and Brian D. Demesio calls the ball.
Get more in, and don't see a ton of fog yet, knock on wood.
Things just about to get going between the Commodores and the Harbor Hawks as the righty Carl Schmidt makes his way to home plate. Takes a deep breath and digs in. Yasa comes set of the belt. The first pitch is inside for ball one, and we are underway at 6:02 p.m., 2 minutes past scheduled start time. Carl Schmidt, the rising redshirt sophomore as well. He's at California. 1-0 is also low. 281 hitter in 25 games, an 0-for-3 effort last night to break a 3-game hit streak. That average has fluctuated just above 300, a little bit below. 2-0, also low. 3 balls, no strikes, and the leadoff man for the Commodores. Commodores starting 4 consecutive All-Stars in this lineup tonight before the All-Star game tomorrow at YD. 3-0, take all the way from Schmidt. It's a called strike.
Right behind those top 4 guys is maybe their hottest hitter at the current moment, and Justin Osterhaus too got that solo shot yesterday.
That put the Commodores up 3-1, and what is eventually the final score in that victory over the Firebirds. 3-1 gets past the catcher in Briggs, and it's a 5-pitch walk. And the leadoff man has reached for the Commodores to get things going.
Look at that bat from Carl Schmidt, and a lot of times you're the first hitter. We've seen Carl Schmidt be very aggressive in the leadoff spot, but I don't think there was any question about some of those pitches, whether he should swing or not. Walks are not really something that Yasa had to deal with a ton. About a walk per inning last time, or this season at Nebraska.
And he averages about a walk per inning in the summer so far, 15 to 17. First pitch to the righty, Adrian Lopez. He takes for a called strike on the outer third. Lopez, the rising junior at USC, in game number 20 for him. Missed a couple of games earlier in the season after getting hit in the head, and then came back earlier this week after missing some time due to the draft. 0-1, check swing, and he went around, said home plate umpire Brian D. Demesio. Quickly down 0-2. Lopez looking to break off this mini 0-for-7 streak after an 0-for-3 effort last night in the victory. 0-2 pitch is a breaking ball low. Just 3 pitches in the arsenal for Yasu. A fastball, curveball, and slider.
Sometimes when you're such a power pitcher, back to some of the command issues, it's just translate to being a power hitter. You get subconscious and pumping the ball through.
That curveball nearly hits Lopez as he has to dance out of the way. Harbor Hawks in the red shirts tonight for Red Shirts Friday, supporting the military. Commodores in their road black tops with red Falmouth across the front. 2-2 outside, full count after Yasin started the at-bat ahead 0-2.
Nothing going in the first 4 innings for Falmouth in yesterday's game, too, where no hit through 4. Eventually got their first run in the 5th, along with their first couple of hits.
And an offense where not a lot of offense was needed. 3-2, breaking ball called, strike 3. A beautiful drop on that 12-6. And it's right in the heart of the zone for out number 1.
Yeah, right in the heart of the zone. Lopez knew it, just froze up on that pitch. I think he was waiting fastball. That's the best pitch that Yasa throws. Sometimes don't want to swing, don't want to be off balance.
1 out, 1 on for the righty Micah New in his second game back after missing some time, heading back home for the MLB draft. First pitch is a slider outside. You mentioned it last night, Ben. Trying to get his footing underneath him again after missing a little bit of time. Not a lot of live ABs while he was at home in Pennsylvania. 0 for 4 last night. 1-0, a fastball roped into right center field. Long run for Mitchell. It drops in the gap, rolls all the way to the wall. Schmidt on his way to third. He'll be held up there. And Mike Anu, that's the one we're looking for. He puts that into the right center gap for a double.
Yeah, that's just vintage Mike Anu. You only felt like it was going to be, you had that rough game yesterday. You don't think that's going to last too long. Pitch that was low in the zone, he just hit the opposite way. That's what makes him really good, too. He's hit a couple opposite field home runs for him this year and really hit to all fields.
A baseball that was smoked off the bat, and a prime chance already for Falmouth to jump in front. As here is the first lefty in the lineup with Kent Schmidt. 14 RBIs on the summer. That's 8th on Cape Cod. Pitch. It's a fastball. He fouls back to the screen. Already some early trouble for Carson Yasa, who has only allowed 2 earned runs through 17 innings of work so far. Schmidt at third, New at second, infield back for the Harborhawks. 0-1 is a breaking ball, pumped outside and fouled away.
Yes, also just hasn't given up any hits this year. A 1.12 whip. We talk about the walks isn't a great number either.
Schmidt digs back in, awaiting the 0-2. Yasu agrees with a sign with Briggs. Winds and throws. Schmidt on the ground to the right side, tough play for Lucci. The diving effort off his glove into right field. Schmidt in to score, New standing up right behind him, and it's a 2-run single for Kent Schmidt for RBIs 15 and 16, and the Commodores take a 2-0 lead in the top of the first.
Well, that's why Kent Schmidt's an all-star. I think every base hit he has this year has come with runners in scoring position. It's what it feels like. It's another really good approach, another hard hit ball. That was hit so hard, it was heading right towards Devin Mitchell and right. They might have got aided by the fact that it hit off of Luigi's glove. Maybe that extra run comes in because of it.
Enough speed from Micah New at second to get that extra run home, and the Commodores jump all over the Harborhawks early. First pitch swinging for the lefty, Justin Osterhaus sends it back. This is something, Ben, we haven't seen a whole lot from this Commodores team a lot this season, is those early run support for that starting pitcher. 0-1 is a breaking ball, just misses the outer third.
Yeah, it has. It just feels like there's been too many games this year where the Commodores were out of it by, innings 3 or 4. Again, you go back to that Wareham game where the Commodores were down 5-0 in the second inning.
1-1 is a fastball also on the ground to the right side. Luigi, this one a little bit easier. Vacuums it up, flips it over for out number 2. Schmidt advance up to second.
And he put another one in scoring position. Now for a guy that hasn't hit this high in the lineup in a little bit of time, Ashton Wilson hitting 6th now.
He's more so been in that 7-8 spot for the 10 games he's played on Falmouth so far. First offering, fastball up and in. Hitting just 206. With that breakout game coming last Friday and the win over Katuitt, he went 2 for 4 with a home run, 4 RBIs. Still looking to replicate that performance. 1-0. Fastball on the outer third, called for a strike. 0 for 3 last night against Orleans with a strikeout in that 8th spot in the order. It's a 1-1 count with Kent Schmidt standing at second. Pitch. is a fastball that is slicing out of play first base side. Wilson, the rising senior at Florida, finishing up his second season in Gainesville after transferring out of Charleston Southern after his freshman campaign. Yasa set of the belt. Kicks and deals, a fastball just above the letters.
Another storyline for Falmouth, one that's been good on the offensive, or bad on the offensive side, have struggled with pitching, is just that 2-out production. But Osterhouse had a 2-out home run yesterday.
2-2. Breaking ball, a called strike 3. Wilson turned away, then turns back to the umpire. Does not like that call from Brian DiMasio. But either way, that ends the frame. Commodores get 2 across in the top of the first, thanks to the 2-run single by Kent Schmidt. It is 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We'll hear the Harbor Hawks hit for the first time, with the Commodores leading 2-0 right here on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: 99 Restaurants, Badger Sports, the Baldwin Group, Bluebird Dennisport, Bridgewater State University, Cape Destinations. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Commodore starter Leif Palmer gets the baseball with some run support here as we enter the bottom of the first. The Commodores in front 2-0. Back alongside my partner Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piana. Second start for Leif Palmer, looking to bounce back in what's been a shaky start so far on Cape Cod. Ben, he got that start against the Gatemen a little bit earlier in this week, and that was not an ugly game. I mean, it was an ugly performance.
Yeah, it was, and it was a 2-inning start and just a tale of 2 different innings in that game, too. We had a really efficient first inning against Wareham. Sat him down, pop-out, strikeout, and another pop-up. Once he got to the 5-hitter at Colby Turner, he would walk, hit by pitch, sac fly, walk, and walk. A couple of base hits after that, but the base hits just come because of the command issues. It's somebody who, I think if he just settles in a little bit better and can find the zone, I'm not too concerned. A lot of times the more concerning guys are the guys who just got hit super hard. That's not what happened.
His first pitch is a perfect command to Jake Schaffner, the lefty shortstop for the Harbor Hawks. The defense behind Palmer, left to right in the outfield, is Wilson New Morales. Left to right in the infield, Osterhouse, Lopez, Maroney, and Kent Schmidt. As Schaefer fouls that one back quickly down 0-2. And Eddie Yaman makes his second start behind home plate. He does the catching. It's a Hyannis lineup that is still very offensive heavy, second in a lot of offensive categories. He had a grand slam in the 4th inning. First home run on Cape. He had a grand slam in the 4th inning. First home run on Cape Cod for him. Had almost a little bit of a shock when he hit it. Didn't know if it was going to get out of there. 2-2. Fastball off the end of the bat. Finding his way back into the lineup. Missed about 8 games earlier in the summer after he got hit by pitch against this Falmouth team. Missed it with a wrist injury. 2-2 is launched the other way into left field. Wilson couple steps back at the track, and he makes the catch on the backtrack for out number 1.
It was an awkward route initially for Ashton Wilson. Usually they tell you first step back. That was weird because it looked like it was hit pretty hard, almost from my vantage point, harder than it actually went. Wilson came up initially, able to adjust the time to make the play, but you start to look. He's got an awkward shadow there in left field, just barely when the rest of the field is in the sun.
And he's the only one out there that is currently in the shade as well. First pitch swinging for Jeff Luigi and ropes it into right field. That's a base hit. He'll stay put at first, and he goes first pitch hunting for that one-out single.
Yeah, right. I mean, a lot of guys just have that one pitch in mind, that first at-bat they're saying they're going to swing at. It was a fastball up, and that's what Ryan McKay got, or excuse me, Jeff Luigi got, and just hard liner into right.
That is now his 6th consecutive game with a hit. That average at .341 only continues to climb for the rising sophomore from Duke. Here's another hot hitter in the lineup in lefty Ryan McKay. Rising junior from Michigan State. Pitch is right down the heart of the plate for a called strike.
It just feels like with the MLB draft and so much going on, these rosters in terms of size are starting to dwindle down. Hyannis still has a ton of hitters, and they're really platooning righties versus lefties.
0-1 is out and away. We were talking about it even before we got on air. Both these teams have done a good job of retaining that talent despite the MLB draft when there's so much turnover in summer baseball already.
The biggest part of it is Falmouth losing a decent amount of their starting pitching.
Correct. 1-1 swing and a miss. Palmer pumps the fastball by him. It's a 1-2 count to McKay. 29 hits on the summer. That is 2nd on Cape Cod. Currently tied with Mike and New. 1-2. Fastball up and in. McKay has hit very well against the Commodores this summer. A 3-for-5 effort, 2 RBIs in the first meeting between these two teams. 2-2, a fastball. He pops it up, skies third base line, out of play. Into the metal seats down the third base line.
Pretty good crowd. I don't see even a lot of empty seats here.
And the bleachers on the first base side as well, not as elevated as the ones above the dugout on the third base side, but still a great view for a game. 2-2 on the ground is slow. Grounder to Lopez at short. Can't flip on to second as it sneaks under his glove, and everybody's going to be safe.
Yeah, that's one of those awkward tweeners where he was hit on the ground. It hit so slow, but still maybe had a chance to turn two. He really rushed it. That's one of those cliches, you know, got to catch the ball before you throw it. Try to throw it before he even got the ball in his glove. And again, you feel for Leif Palmer. He didn't get a ton of help from his defense in his last start against Wareham.
Interesting to see how they score it. Nothing official yet, whether that'll be a single or an error. Here's another lefty, Gabe Camacho. Pitch outside. Runners at first and second. One gone, bottom one. Commodores leading 2-0. Look at second pitch. Fouled back off the helmet of Yaman for a foul ball.
And that'll be ruled a fielder's choice with an error from Adrian Lopez.
One. Fastball outside. The rising junior from UC San Diego. Game number 17 for Camacho, a .224 hitter. After a Big West first team nod this past season with the Tritons. 2-1. Another fastball foul tipped in the mid for strike 2. Palmer looking for the second out of the inning. Doesn't punch out a whole lot of hitters, just 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. 2-2. Foul tipped in the mid for strike 3. Just what Palmer was looking for. Round number 2.
I mean, that's a really good recovery. He came back with 2 fastballs, all of them strike 2, blew past Camacho, and you want to go back to it. A lot of times hitters can adjust to it, but Camacho is so far behind. I just like the adjustment after your defense makes a mistake.
No hits off of no runs off of 1 hit, 1 error with 2 left on base. 2-0 Commodores as we go to the top of the second here from McKeon Park. Back on Cape League TV in just a moment.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape League this summer. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on grilled brioche and served either hot and buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery to go along with the fries and coleslaw. Visit your local 99 restaurant this summer today. You gotta love the Nines.
I'm Jacob Schultz, pitcher from Vanderbilt University, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Commodores have set the tone after 1 inning with a 2-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks. Welcome back into McKeon Park. Back alongside my partner Ben Haller. I'm Andrew Della Piana. 7, 8, 9 scheduled to hit for the Commodores, and after that 2-run single by Kent Schmidt in the first bend, Late Palmer gets out of a little mini jam in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, he did. Again, it didn't see that get out of a jam in that first start he had, because it was one really good inning and then 1 inning that just got away from him, so it's good to see that he's got that ability.
Sometimes you just need that sense of confidence from a guy that can deliver a strong outing. First pitch to Eddie Yaman is a called strike on the slider by Carson Yassa, rising redshirt sophomore at Nebraska, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs in that first frame. 0-1. Breaking ball starts in at the letters, drops in at the knees for a called strike. Yaman, his 2nd game on Cape Cod, arrived on Wednesday. And right now for 1 game on Cape Cod. 1-2. Fastball just outside. Yassa tried to clip the outer third, couldn't do so. Yaman, the rising redshirt junior at this past season due to an injury. 1-2. Breaking ball, foul, third base side. Told us when we first met up with him on Wednesday, was dealing something with his left eye. Couldn't see for about 10 weeks.
That's a rare injury, rare issue, one that obviously, just from the sounds of it, can be tough.
2-2, same pitch, same result, into the Hyannis dugout this time. 2 seasons at Dayton, he was phenomenal. First team all-conference as a sophomore with the Flyers. And then making that big jump to LSU, where his head coach Jay Johnson was in attendance on Wednesday to see him play. 2-2, fastball inside and actually clips the elbow of Yaman, and that's a hit by pitch to lead off the second.
Back-to-back innings to start for Yaman with command issues, and I think Hyannis unhappy a little bit, especially the catcher Brody Briggs really thought he leaned in to get a hit on that one. He definitely didn't move his elbow. Try to get out of the way, that's for sure.
Leadoff man reaches for the 2nd consecutive inning for the Commodores, as here's the rising junior from Rhode Island, the righty Reese Maroney, in game number 2 for him on Cape Cod as well. First pitch is a fastball, called strike. Maroney going 0 for 2 on Tuesday in a loss against Bourne, picking up an RBI and a sac fly. He is the 4th Rhode Island Ram on this roster now, Ben. 3 pitchers in the position player. 0-1, outside on the slider.
Pretty nice job. Jeremy Arena obviously had a great start yesterday. Joe Sabbath's an all-star. He had a nice save yesterday. Jake Cullen, we've seen a couple appearances for him so far.
So those roadie guys doing their job. 1-1, check swing, definitely went around on the low fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Maroney. 2-0 Commodores in the top of the second, nobody gone.
And obviously a big story on Tuesday against Warren was just the defensive miscues from Maroney in the field. He had 2 errors.
After a phenomenal sophomore campaign where he got over 100 points added on that batting average, takes the 2-2 outside. Was in contention for the A10 Player of the Year, where he hit over 350 this past spring. Where the Rams won the A10. Breaking ball is upstairs for ball 3. And Maroney has battled his way back. Taps home plate a couple times, swings his bat forward, digs back into the right side. Waits a 3-2, here it is. Breaking ball taken outside for ball 4. Some good discipline for some new Commodores. Runners at first and second. And Brody Briggs, the catcher, is going to have a quick moment with his starting pitcher, who's losing command a little bit to start.
Yeah, that's really good discipline. That's a pitch that obviously starts a little bit outside and moves towards the plate, but still I thought it was close enough to the plate where 2-strike at bat. That's tough to let go, but Maroney did a nice job.
Runners at first and second, nobody gone. Falmouth 2, Hyannis nothing in the top of the second. Harborhawks took the first 3 meetings between these two teams. They'll face each other one more time a little bit later in the month of July. That will be back at home at Gulf Fuller Field. Back to action we go with the lefty Antonio Morales. He bats from the 9th spot tonight. He'll be the starter in right field for the West Division tomorrow. Pitch, ropes it just foul, third base side on a line. Side.
But scouting report's going to say that this isn't your usual 9-hitter.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Those numbers have dipped just a little, makes that call. 2-1 count to Morales. Infield at double play depth for the Harborhawks. In the corners protecting down the line. Definitely a lot of speed from Morales. He only stands at 5'9", 175 pounds. Pitch, launches one into right field, but right at Devin Mitchell, who makes the grab, throws to second, and Yaman back in safely.
Yeah, Yaman almost caught himself a little too far off that second base bag, and I slide in to get there. But this ball was hit so hard that sometimes your first thought is to go, go on contact because of how hard it was hit. It's a hard liner, and Devin Mitchell happened to be in the perfect spot.
Back to the top of the lineup with Carl Schmidt from the right side. Runners at first and second, Commodores 2, Harborhawks nothing, top 2. Pitch. On the ground to the left side, field on the backhand by Schaffner. On to second for 1, the turn, in time for the double play. Nicely done by Jake Schaffner, who is manager.
For their continued support, Cape Space, Cape Cod 5, Cisco Brewers, Cape Cod Healthcare, Hampton Inn, Franklin Sports, Highline Cruises, Jersey Mike's, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Authentic Cape Cod dining is right down the road at Jim's Clam Shack. Open seasonally for over 50 years, Jim's Clam Shack features oceanfront views with all of the lobster, shrimp, burgers, and clams you could ask for. Stop by Jim's Clam Shack, located at 227 Quinton Avenue right here in Falmouth, to hit your next meal out of the park. That's Jim's Clam Shack, 227 Quinton Avenue, Falmouth.
I'm Bear Harrison, catcher from Texas A&M College, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Commodores as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Right here, late Palmer still out there for the Commodores as the starter. Lefty Charlie Bates to lead things off for Hyannis. As the 6-hitter out in left field, a very heavy left stay B. 1-0, another stay B. 1-0, another fastball, different spot. Different result on the called strike on the outer third. It's been a nice turnaround for Bates in these last 8 games. He had a stretch from late June, early July where he was 0 for 17 with 10 strikeouts. In his last 8 games, got 10 hits, 1-1. Takes a called strike on the outer third. Another great spot there from Palmer.
Yeah, ruts happen, and sometimes you struggle. 0 for 17, the 10 strikeouts though, and the 17 at bat, so you could really tell how much Bates really was struggling.
1-2 on the way. Fastball, this one outside. Those strikeout numbers definitely didn't help. He's climbed up into top 10 in the league in that category with 24. As Palmer steps back on the bump, he's 2-2. Check swing, did not go around. Keith Peterson, third base side. Says Bates held up in time. Count is run full. Bates, very highly touted out of high school, was the number 7 freshman according to Perfect Game. 3-2 on the ground, right side. Nice play by Maroney at second. Fires at a home run in his first at bat. 0-2. Breaking ball, nicely blocked by Yaman. And that first home run in that first at bat came against All-Star Truman Pauly, who was recently taken in the MLB draft. 1-2 from Palmer. Fastball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bottom 2. Commodores leading 2-0. A 374 average this season for Mitchell at the JUCO level. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Upstairs fastball from Palmer. Got him chasing for his second strikeout for out number 2.
It's also good to see Palmer using all parts of the zone. We saw a strikeout earlier and a fastball that just pumped by him. That was more in the lower part of the zone this time. Goes up high to Mitchell for second K.
Sets the first 2 down after seeing 5 hitters in the first inning. Here's the lefty Brody Briggs, the rising junior from Arizona State. Pitch. Right on the inner third for a called strike. 146 hitter for Briggs this summer. Comes after a pair of 2 homer games this past spring with the Sun Devils. 0-1. Fastball just inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Was out in the Alaskan Baseball League last summer. It's a long trek from, originally from Oklahoma, Alaska, Tempe, and out Cape Cod. Short chopper to the third baseman, a tough play for Osterhaus. In out of his glove, he drops it as momentum was taking him to home plate. And that's going to be an infield single for Briggs to keep the second inning alive.
Yeah, that was going to be a really tough play no matter what. Kind of similar to the Adrian Lopez error we saw earlier. The only difference is it would have been a fielder's choice no matter what with Lopez. He was just trying to rush the double play. Osterhaus was trying to rush just a simple put out on that one. And typically known as a middle infielder, Osterhaus is, but has gotten a few starts at third base this year.
Seen a lot of him over at second this summer. First pitch ball to the rising senior from VMI, Owen Prince. He bats from the left side.
Something I'm noticing now that we're, a full time through the lineup with Prince at the plate. I wonder if I'm noticing this just because of how different it was last night.
Called strike from Palmer. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But it was, this is a Hyannis team that is really taking long at bats, letting the first few pitches of the at bats go. I mean, last night Orleans was swinging at everything first couple of pitches they saw.
1-1, just inside. Two gone in the bottom of the second. Commodores leading 2-0 with a runner on first.
That'll contribute too to Leif Palmer's been solid so far, but he's already thrown 37 pitches. Still trying to get out of the second.
Takes a look over at first, kicks and deals on a changeup, fouled out of play. Lands on the hill on the third base side. Interesting to see how far that seating runs out third base side over the Hyannis bullpen. There's a lot of trees over there.
I was going to say, it looks like those couple of
tight
people
area.
are just sitting in trees right now from this angle.
2-2, chopper third base foul. Yeah, there cannot be a lot of grass there, where the farthest guy is sitting out, kind of more so hovering over the bullpen.
Yeah, if you really get the right angle, you can't see the chairs. It just looks like they're sitting on a branch.
Palmer takes Beeks in Briggs' direction. Another 2-2 on the way. Fastball inside, gets away from Yaman all the way to the backstop. Easy 90 feet for Briggs.
Lenny Yaman got his first start back at Brewster on Wednesday, and you could tell it took him a little bit of time to get used to just catching and receiving new pitchers, as it will for all catchers. But a few that got by Yaman that I think are plays he could make. That's another one right there. Might go down as a wild pitch, but definitely one I think he had a chance at.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Inside for ball 4. And Prince earns the walk on a 7-pitch at-bat. So to your point, these at-bats continue to lengthen out for Leif Palmer.
Well, something else that Falmouth has just struggled with this year.
First, that was a wild pitch that advanced Briggs up to second base. Schaffner made that nice play to end the top of the second. Kind of mentioned him before we went to break, but Mitch Carricker has been very big on him and the impact he's made over at shortstop. With Palmer stepping back up to the bump. First pitch to the lefty. Called strike. Right at the knees. Briggs at second, Prince at first. 2-0 Falmouth, bottom 2, 2 gone. Palmer, similar spot to he was in the first inning. The runners in the same spot, 0-1 outside. Schaffner flew out to left field his first time up. A little bit of an awkward angle taken by Wilson on that catch. 1-1. It's a fastball foul back over home plate, out of play.
And with those very long at-bats, Palmer's gotten ahead in a lot of them, but it's when it's got to a 2-strike count. Hitters are doing a nice job fouling pitches off, and then you foul a couple of pitches off. Palmer can only throw so many pitches into the zone.
1-2. Fastball just above the letters. Just a little bit high. 2-2 count with 2 outs, 2 runners on. For Jake Schaffner. Palmer comes set at the belt. Winds and throws. Called strike 3. Third strikeout for Leif Palmer, and it leaves runners at first and second once more. As the Commodores still leading 2-0 as we go to the top of the third here on Cape League TV.
On behalf of the Cape Cod Baseball League, we would like to thank the following league partners for their continued support: Veolia North America, Wilson Sporting Goods, Yawkey Foundation, Netting Pros, Falmouth Publishing Company, Butler Sporting Goods, Sports Picks, Margaritaville Resort Cape Cod, Sunderland Printing, Del Mar Vacation Rentals, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
I'm Carl Schmidt, utility player from the University of California, and you're listening to...
Will be scheduled to hit third in this frame.
Both ends of the spectrum. Now we're
seeing it work for the starter, Anyasa. Pitch. Breaking ball drops in beautifully for a called strike. Even that evolution of that curveball, where we're seeing a lot more guys throw a 12-6, if you will, Ben. That's really gotten away from your traditional curveballs, even so the knuckle curve. 0-1, there it is again, foul back to the screen.
Someone we see throw that 12-6 really good is Jacob Schultz, who we've seen a few times in the last 5 games for Falmouth.
Yeah, he was spectacular last night, going one shutout inning out of the bullpen in that 3-1 victory for the Commodores to snap a 4-game losing streak. 0-2, breaking ball just outside on the outer third. Lopez takes a deep breath, taps the end of the bat with the right hand and resets the batting gloves before stepping back in. 1-2. Fastball, skied out of play first base side. One of the bigger guys you'll see at shortstop at 6'4", 210 pounds. That's really the new model of his player type, though, if you will.
Well, it's a mobile 6'4",
Absolutely.
210, too. That's a lot of muscle in the 210 as well.
1-2, fastball way out in front for strike 3 and out number 1. The third strikeout for Carson Yassa to start things in the third. Leadoff man retired for the first time for the Commodores tonight. As here is Mike Anu from the right side. A double back in the first. Pitch, breaking ball, called strike on the other third. New doesn't think so. Kind of grinded his teeth a little bit as he looked towards the first base dugout. A 1. Another breaking ball, same spot, just a little different result. That one just a hair inside.
One of the first things I noticed in yesterday's game, which was his first game back, he's changed that stance since those.
He has.
Tucking that left knee in a little bit.
1-1, fastball outside.
And he's showing the bottom of his left foot to the pitcher. It's totally rotating.
Which is interesting too, because you think of the numbers that he's had, the 7 home runs, the unbelievable average as well. Why would you change that?
Yeah.
2-1, pops it up, out of play.
Well, I mean, a part of going through the MLB draft process, waiting to hear your name called, sometimes you get feedback. I mean, sometimes simple change, suggestion.
This offense definitely missed him in the 4 games he was not here. Just 10 runs scored. 2-2, breaking ball way outside. No chance for New to even think about it. As he looks down to third base coach Jared Saltalamacchia, who's in that spot for the 2nd consecutive game after a little bit of a miscue a couple nights ago with Jack O'Reilly stopping a runner at third. 3-2 on the way. Breaking ball inside for ball 4. A 6-pitch walk for Mike Anu. And there's a runner on first with 1 out.
It was always dangerous on the base paths too. That's something you got to watch for. He's going to do some amount of stolen bases for him.
He's got 11 this summer, top 5 on Cape Cod.
But Ken Schmidt really loves McKeon Park.
He does.
Last time he homered in an away game, it was back. First time these 2 teams played here.
2-0 Falmouth, top 3, 1 gone. Here is the lefty Ken Schmidt. Pitch. Fastball snapped in the glove for strike 1. Schmidt, the rising junior from Georgia Tech. 2-run single back in the first to give the Commodores this 2-0 lead. RBIs 15 and 16. 0-1 is ripped into right field, down for another base hit. New on his horse from second to third, throw cut off. Back pick to first, Schmidt back in there safely. And there's runners at the corners for the Commodores.
I'll tell you what, there's something to be said for what we've talked about with Mike Anu coming back in the lineup. Not only do you have another really good 3-hitter, but Ken Schmidt, I think, is just more comfortable in the cleanup spot. I think Justin Ostrow is more comfortable a little further down in the lineup. There's so many of those factors that go into it. That again, Commodores in business with a good guy up in a sacrifice situation in Osterhouse.
Rising junior from Alabama from the left side. A solo home run last night. First pitch he goes after on the ground first base side. On the backhand by Camacho. Steps on first for 1. Now in a rundown between Schmidt at second. But Mike Anu scores for the 3rd run. So a good heads-up play by Schmidt to allow the run to come across to make it 3-0 Commodores. just good heads-up baseball there by Schmidt to make this a 3-0 Falmouth lead as we roll things into the bottom of the third, as it is just one run on one hit, no errors, with nobody left on base. 3-0 Falmouth as we go to the bottom of the third here on Cape League TV.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts.
Good heads-up base running by the Commodores has Falmouth up 3-0 over Hyannis. Bottom third back here at McKeon Park. Alongside my partner Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piana. Righty Leif Palmer still out there for the Commodores into inning number 3 on the job. Has allowed 1 hit so far, has stranded 4 runners on base, and the offense has definitely helped him out tonight with the 3 runs early on.
The team's just a couple games under 500. I think one of their bugaboos this year has just been the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in general. Maybe that might help get the monkey off their back and win a game against this Hyannis team.
Harbor Hawks have taken the first 3 of potential 5 matchups between these two squads. First pitch, Jeff Luigi is a called strike right down Main Street. Single out to right field the first time around for Luigi. Pitch. Just inside with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, velocity hasn't dipped much. That's the first thing I've recognized for Palmer coming out. He threw 44 pitches in the first 2 innings.
This 1-1. His manager, Mitch Carricker, has kind of inserted him into the middle of the lineup for that hitting streak, but he's played so well. He's said he's kind of been forced to move him up even further into this 2 spot. 1-2, fastball off the end of the bat. Osterhaus couple steps back at third, now comes in and hauls it in. Leadoff man retired for the 3rd consecutive inning by Leif Palmer. Ryan McKay digs in from the left side. Pitch, low.
I think this is another one of my favorites in the league. Just a nice atmosphere, the unique seashells on the floor instead of like pebbles or dirt.
To low for ball 3. It's definitely something you don't see around the rest of the league. It's very much of a beach feel when you walk up to it. That's the first thought that I came in with.
It's nice when you can see the trees in the outfield, unlike last time we were here with the fog.
That is also true. You're going off the light tower out in left center. 3-0, take all the way from McKay for a called strike.
Yeah, that's how they make the decisions on if they can play or not. It's so funny. It's hard to believe that you wouldn't be able to see that at a certain point.
That feels crystal clear on a night like this. 3-1 spoiled back to the screen.
Oh, and Palmer fighting back 3-0, make it 3-2.
That pitch count continues to climb for Palmer. Thrown 55 so far. Been pretty accurate though. 33 have been strikes. Is 3-2 on the way. Is walloped into center field, sending New back couple steps, but he makes the play on the run for out number 2.
This is a couple of hard lineouts right at Falmouth outfielders tonight. Was another one.
That felt like the case for the Commodores last night, where everything was on a hard line out to center field. It was a busy night for Javar Williams out there in center for the Firebirds. Gabe Camacho with 2 outs. Pitch just inside.
think if Palmer can get that first 1-2-3 inning, maybe you start to cruise a little bit.
1-0, sent right back up the middle, drops in for a hard hit single.
I know it's my job to talk, but maybe I should stop talking.
That was the announcer's shank at its finest. Don't worry about that one. Palmer just leaving that one over the heart of the plate for Camacho to hammer into center. Miles Davis from the right side looking to continue this 2-out magic. Pitch. Fastball slapped into right field. Morales, easy play for him. Shades in and makes the play for out number 3. So that 2-out single does no damage in the bottom of the third. It is no outs. Should say no runs on 1 hit, no errors with a 1 left on base. 3-0 Commodores as we go to the top of the 4th. More baseball on the other side on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
I'm TJ Coates. I'm a right-handed pitcher from the University of Nebraska, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Top 4 from McKeon Park. Commodores in front of the Harbor Hawks 3-0. Alongside Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Del Piano. Carson Yassa still out there for the Harbor Hawks into inning number 4 on the job. Facing 6, 7, 8 of this Commodores lineup. Starting with the righty Ashton Wilson. Sun hiding behind the clouds just a little bit behind home plate. Still a great night for baseball, great turnout here at McKeon. First pitch, breaking ball inside. Got the bleachers full third base side. The pitchers that aren't pitching tonight for the Harbor Hawks handing out some raffle tickets. Another great crowd of Commodores fans down the first base line just behind us. 1-0, swing and a miss by Wilson. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's been a righty warming up in the Falmouth bullpen for some time now. This is all the way back in the top of the 3rd inning. And it is TJ Coates, who we thought could start this game.
1-1 bouncer in the dirt, didn't even get to the dirt patch just in front of home plate. So to kind of revisit that debacle, TJ Coates was supposed to get the start tonight. Got here a little bit late after getting in a little bit late from his rival from Miami, where he just committed. 2-1 is a ball just below the knees of Wilson. So he gets here a little bit late. Late Palmer has to start. Coates will come in relief. That's the short version. 3-1 to Wilson. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Backwards K, first time up for Wilson on a breaking ball. A nice sliding effort by the ball boy in front of us from the Hyannis side to beat out the Falmouth ball boy.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of this league. Each team, no matter what, has 2 kid ball boys. And when that ball is directly behind home plate, there's always a race to get it.
It's a mad scramble. 3-2, called strike near at the knees by Wilson. He immediately turns around, gives an earful to Brian DiCimasio, takes off his helmet, shakes his head back to the dugout. Todd Carroll, the pitching coach, out to escort Wilson back to the dugout, make sure he doesn't get anything else further than a warning.
Yeah,
he was not happy about that.
Well, I don't blame him. That's tough. the thing he was yelling too is that's twice. He's been rung up twice looking on pitches that are pretty borderline.
2 backwards Ks for Wilson, first out. Called strike to Eddie Yaman from the right side. 4-0 Commodores, I should say 3-0 Commodores in the top of the 4th. Oh, 1. Fastball popped up out of play. Yaman was hit by a pitch in the left elbow his first time around on a fastball that just grazed the purple and yellow arm sleeve of the LSU Tiger. Down the count, 0-2. Pitch. Breaking ball way out in front, swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carson Yassa in the top of the 4th.
How about that? That's now the first time Eddie Yaman's been retired at the plate this season. On-base machine in just 3 attempts.
75% still pretty good.
Yeah.
2 up, 2 gone. Another righty, Reese Maroney, steps in. He was walked his first time up. First offering. Fastball outside. One-oh. Bouncer in the dirt gets away from Briggs.
It's a couple of times he's thrown that fastball straight into the, not even into the dirt, into the grass. Before you get to the dirt surrounding home plate.
More action for the Harbor Hawks ball boy to go and get. He's been having a lot of runs.
Someone get that guy some water.
True. 2-0. Breaking ball. Drops in for a strike. Sun peeking through the clouds just a little bit now. Right side of the diamond completely in the sun. Left side covered in shade. 2-1. Another breaking ball inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Maroney takes a deep breath, takes a look at the tan bat, and digs back in from the right side. Morales waiting on deck if it gets to him. 3-1. Fastball, called strike. Maroney doesn't think so. He was about to take a walk over down to first and drop the bat. And some questionable calls here in the 4th that Falmouth has not agreed with. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the 8-hitter in the Commodores lineup. Pitch. Breaking ball rolled over, foul, third base side. Maroney in his first 2 seasons at Rhode Island has started 102 of possible 103.
That's what Maroney has been in the first 2 years at Rhode Island.
I already talked about that massive jump in the average of 100 points, but he had 5 extra base hits as a freshman, 17 as a sophomore. It was such a key piece to the Rams winning that conference tournament for the first time since 2016. It's been a long time in Kingston. Another 3-2, fastball up and in, nearly hits him, and this done is definitely ball 4, and he can jog down to first.
Back-to-back walks now for Maroney. Had one all the way back on Tuesday as well.
That's exactly what you want from a guy in the back of the order, is that on-base machine. He's been that so far through 2 games.
So is this guy at the plate.
Antonio Morales, top 10 in on-base percentage in the league. First pitch, called strike on the outer third. 2 gone, top 4. Commodores 3, Harbor Hawks nothing. 2 runs in the first for the Doors, 1 in the third. To add to this lead, get some more insurance for Leif Palmer, who's been great as the starter. 0-1, fastball up the middle to the shortstop Schaefer. Take it to the bag himself at second, steps on the bag in time for out number 3. That retires the side for the Commodores. Couldn't get anything going after the 2-out walk. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We roll into the bottom of the 4th. Commodores 3, Harbor Hawks nothing on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
I'm Mike Anu, outfielder from Marshall University, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on Cape League TV.
Bottom four from McKeon Park. Vibes are high, and that's because the Commodores lead 3-0 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Ben Haller, Andrew Del Piano back with you. TJ Coates gets a hug from his third baseman, Justin Osterhaus. That's because he just recently committed to the University of Miami down in Coral Gables. Makes his return to the bump here with the Commodores. Making his third appearance out of the bullpen. A sub-5 ERA. First pitch from Coates, called strike against the lefty Charlie Bates.
First things first.
5 strikeouts. That's one of the better numbers in the league. He's been kind of bouncing back and forth between a starter and a reliever. 3-1 inside. No chance on that one to get to the zone. It's a 5-pitch walk to Charlie Bates to lead things off in the bottom of the 4th.
Coach has been good. He was also pretty good. The first inning he pitched against this Hyannis team, the first time we saw him. But it was kind of like Palmer we talked about last time. The second and third innings came around and got into trouble.
Yeah, he has been a busy bee in the 9 days since the Harbor Hawks won that last game back on July 9th. Check over at first. He did pitch against Hyannis back on the 9th of July. The last game the Harbor Hawks did win, and Coates went 5 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, and a home run. Pitch, slider, called strike to the righty Devin Mitchell. And Hyannis went about a week, a little bit more, without winning a ball game. Got that victory last night in Chatham. 0-1, fastball way outside. Yaman has to reach out with the left hand to grab it.
Hyannis lefty warming up in the bullpen. That's Mason Russell, too.
1-1, runner takes off, bouncer in the dirt, gets away from Yaman all the way to the backstop. Bates slides into second. Didn't know if he thought that baseball got away. Now Jared Saltalamacchio out from the first base dugout to speak with TJ Coates. Don't see this a whole lot from Saltalamacchio.
That's it for Coates.
Oh, wow.
That's what it looked like. Giving him the ball.
He's still talking with him on the mound right now. No one's running in from the first base
situation. I mean, yeah, he's walked the batter and threw 1 wild pitch. It's 2-1 count on the second bat of the inning.
2-1 from Coates, a fastball that is roped into left field, broken bat from Mitchell. Long run in left by Wilson, makes it on a running effort into foul territory for out number 1. Bates remains at second. Brody Briggs from the left side. 1 gone, bottom 4. Falmouth 3, Hyannis nothing. Pitch, Briggs rockets one deep into right field, sending Morales back to the track, to the wall, looks up, it's off the scoreboard and gone. A 2-run jack to right field for Brody Briggs. And the Harbor Hawks are right back in it. It's a one-run lead for the Commodores. 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth.
You know, Brody Briggs can hit the long ball. I didn't know he has that kind of power. It was halfway up the scoreboard, and this is the biggest scoreboard in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Down in right field. Hasn't done it a whole lot this year. It's just his second. Didn't do it a whole lot at Arizona State this past season. He had 5. This is a ball game now.
Just his second home run of the summer, and yeah, you said it. This one's a ball game again. First pitch swinging for Prince. First base side just foul. As that one was hooking towards the line just a little bit early. It just kind of looked like when Falmouth was in control of this ball game, really takes that one swing from Briggs to put the Harbor Hawks right back in it. 0-1. Fastball called strike to the knees to Owen Prince. 3-2 Doors, bottom 4. 1 gone, base is now empty after the 2-run shot. 0-2 from Coates. Breaking ball blocked in the dirt by Yaman. It's down to 2 knees to put it in the chest protector. 1-2. Fastball foul, tip in the mid for strike 3. First K for TJ Coates back after missing about a week of action. He was on plenty of visits, was posting it throughout on Instagram stories. He went as far west as Oregon, and as far south as Miami, and eventually committing to the Hurricanes just this morning after 2 seasons at Nebraska. Quick on the delivery, first pitch swinging by Schafter. Tough play by Lopez in the hole, over to first, not in time. Ball gets away from Schmidt, but no advancement from Schaffner as that ball got into the Falmouth dugout. And that allows Schafter to advance up to second on the ball out of play.
That's for one where I like the effort from Lopez, but there's the downside of trying what's going to be a really tough play. Even a hard throw, I don't think he has any chance at that with the speed of Schaffner. Now there's a man at scoring position instead of a man on first. 2 outs.
Second error against Adrian Lopez tonight. Runner in scoring position. Harbor Hawks just a runner 180 feet away from tying this game. Jeff Luigi. Pitch. Called strike from Coates. To look over at second. So 1. Breaking ball blocked by Yaman. Down to 2 knees again, loses the mask.
Well, we've seen a lot of these pitches in the dirt from Coates so far, and something I've noticed, Yaman's done a lot better job blocking on these last couple of pitches. That was a really good block on that last one. So credit where credit's due to Eddie Yaman.
Coates continues to work quickly from the stretch. It's 1-1. Fastball again in the dirt. Yaman keeps it in front once more. He has been busy in this ball game.
Yes.
As the lefty Mason Russell continues to warm up for the Harbor Hawks, who only trail by 1, bottom 4 with 2 outs and a runner on second. 1-2. Fastball just low. Haters count for Luigi, who is 1 for 2. A single in the first.
I mean, the most impressive stat probably for Coates is that 25 strikeouts to just the 8 walks, but the 1.11 whip isn't just bad either.
It's not. 3-1, breaking ball. Great looking slider is in there for a called strike. He's worked the count back full. Luigi from the same town as Mike Anu, who stands in center field. Did not go to the same high school, though. 3-2, pops it up, foul out of play. Both from a small town in Pennsylvania, Mechanicsburg, PA.
One of my favorite towns' names, Mechanicsburg.
They do the fundamentals right there, I heard. 3-2. Rocketed into center field towards New. And there you go. Mechanicsburg to Mechanicsburg for out number 3. But the Harborhawks get 2 across thanks to the 2-run shot by Brody Briggs. We got ourselves a ball game once more. 3-2 Commodores rolling along to the top of the 5th on Cape League TV.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
For the Harborhawks as the Commodores lead 3-2 as we go into the top of the 5th from McKeon Park. Back alongside my partner Ben Haller, I'm Andrew Della Piana. It's the rising sophomore from Arizona. The left-handed Mason Russell gets the baseball in appearance number 4 on Cape Cod for the Arizona native. ERA just north of 8. He has struggled in his first summer on Cape Cod. He was drafted out of high school, Ben, by your Cincinnati Reds. How about that?
Go Redlegs.
Taken in the final round in 2024, scheduled to meet 1, 2, and 3 of the Commodores lineup. Harborhawks getting back in this one after the 2-run shot by Brody Briggs last inning. First pitch from the southpaw. Schmidt launches one into left field, sending Bates back to the wall, still backtracking just in front of the fence and hauls it in.
Well, if getting drafted by the Reds isn't enough to show how much hype there was around him heading into college, when he bypassed and decided to go to Arizona, he was the Big 12 preseason freshman of the year. So, how about this? Arizona, for every single year they've been in the Big 12 conference, they've had the preseason.
Oh, look at you. You are so...
Sunday start, actually, against Louisville. But he was only able to record 1 out. He gave up 5 earned runs on 4 hits, a walk. But I think it's a Louisville team that's got some very good bats.
0-2, fastball way above the zone. Briggs has to reach up to even snag it. Lights have come on at McKeon Park. Just past 7:25. Still a lot of sunlight out left though, especially down the first baseline. Dugout completely in the sun for the Commodores. 1-2, high arcing breaking ball above the letters. Sun setting down the third base side. Another packed night here at McKeon Park. Stands completely full on both bleachers side, third and first. 2-2. Roped foul first base side. Two and 2 count to Lopez with 1 out. 3-2 Commodores advantage in the top of the 5th. Mike Anu stands on deck. Another 2-2 on the way. Breaking ball, Lopez gets a piece off the end of the bat. Out of play once again.
After the couple of rough at-bats, really 2 quick strikeouts. And the first 2, one looking, one swinging for Lopez. Good to see him battle bounce a little bit. Pitch number 7 coming the AV.
Russell agrees on a sign. Another 2-2 fastball. Chop first base side. Again foul.
of it is stuff he's late on the right side.
And that last pitch to Russell, a couple of head nods to Briggs. I feel like he gave him 4 different options of a pitch and finally just wanted to mix things up against Lopez. Lopez taps home plate, awaits another 2-2 from Russell. Pitch from the southpaw. Another breaking ball, a called strike 3. Lopez folds himself in half. Cannot believe it. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Definitely some frustration as he looks towards the scoreboard for out number 2.
Frustration in himself. I think another frustrating call, though, on this Falmouth team for D. Demencio. One looked a bit low. But it's been a consistent zone all game. It's just been very large.
Correct. 2 up, 2 gone. Here's the righty Mike Anu, who's reached both times. First pitch, change up low. New belting a double in the first, walked in the third. 0-1. Foul back behind home plate. New taking his talents to Arkansas for his senior campaign. 2 seasons at New Orleans, junior season at Marshall, and what a job he has done here on Cape Cod to earn a spot in the SEC, getting out of the group of 5. Batting .330, 7 home runs. 0-2, breaking ball, elevated into right field. Mitchell back, couple steps in front of the track, and makes the play for out number 3. It's 1-2-3 for the 1-2-3 members of the Commodores lineup in the top of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on base. Harbor Hawks trail by 1 as we go to the bottom of the 5th, right here on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic Clam Shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, I'm Coleman Mizell, outfielder from Alabama, and you're watching Commodores baseball on KTV.
Park, it's 3-2 Falmouth Commodores heading into the bottom of the 5th inning in Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's the bottom of the 5th inning here on Friday night, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks wearing their Friday red uniforms. And Ryan McKay, the 3-hitter for the Harbor Hawks, takes the first pitch outside. The second inning of work for TJ Coates. This is a Falmouth Commodore team we're used to seeing in those red jerseys, because we're used to seeing them at home. As the 1-0 pitch is fouled off back. We're so used to seeing the Falmouth Commodores win on these Friday nights. They're 4-0 on Fridays this year. Their ERA as a pitching staff on Fridays, 2.91. Change up low puts McKay ahead of the count. McKay an 0 for 2 day, but he reached in the first inning on an error after a fielder's choice. Still got that batting average above 300 on the season, the Michigan State Spartan. Change up from TJ Coates right at the knee, so this is a Big Ten on Big Ten matchup this past year. Of course, TJ Coates finding a new home in Coral Gables. Teams that have very different results in the Big Ten this past year. Nebraska won the Big Ten Conference Tournament. Fastball low, make it full. Michigan State actually won a game, but that's all they can write in the Big Ten tournament. Payoff pitch fouled off of the foot of Eddie Yaman behind home plate. Try another payoff. Fastball high in the air. Shortstop Adrian Lopez going back, waving his arms around it. He wants it. Instead, Ashton Wilson overrules him as the left fielder, and he'll grab it for out number 1. That ball went to the sun and back for the first out of the 5th. Gabe Camacho, the third UC San Diego Triton we've seen the last 2 starting lineups against Falmouth. We saw 2 of them last night for Orleans, Anthony Potestio and Michael Crossland. Steps in the left-handed batter's box, awaits the first pitch from TJ Coates. It's a breaking ball just off the plate for ball 1. Coates was able to pump just 1 strikeout in his first inning of work back in the 4th inning. That was after an awkward start. He walked the first batter, threw a wild pitch in the second, offers fastball low. Put him at 2-0. Back with another changeup, this time cold strike on the inside corner, make it 2-1. Camacho 1 for 2 today. He hit a single back in the 3rd inning. That was a 2-out single, and eventually got stranded there. Change up, same spot, strike 2, evens the count up at 2-2.
And the timing too of TJ Coates he's working with, he is absolutely speeding up these Harbor Hawks hitters, no doubt.
It's about 3 seconds he'll come home after the hitter makes eye contact, and a wave and a miss at the slider in the bottom part of the zone. It was at his knees. He missed 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th.
And even with Camacho kind of stepping back a little bit and saying, all right, I'm going to slow down a little bit, make him wait for me, still didn't matter.
Here's the JUCO product. Miles Davis just a bit low for ball 1. The State College of Florida obviously had a great season there, though. Bounce into a fielder's choice and flight out of his first 2 at bats. Bounces 1 down the 3rd baseline, foul. Coates didn't have the best ERA at Nebraska a season ago. It was above 7 and not a ton of appearances. Change up below the knees. But despite that, still a hot commodity in the transfer portal. Which of kind of his stuff does a lot of the talking with that fastball I can bump by and a beautiful slider. Swing and a check swing. It hit the batter, and first base umpire Jake Brickta said he did not go. So Davis started, and then hit him inside, kind of on the left side of his body, just able to hold up enough, and he'll get first base on a hit by pitch. It's the second free pass that Coates has given up after that leadoff walk in the 4th. That'll give Charlie Bates an opportunity with the runner on first base and 2 outs, and a 3-2 lead for the Commodores. Bottom 5. Sleeper, a bit below or above the dirt for ball 1. Bates, the Stanford Cardinal. Stanford guy through and through. He started his career there, a decent pickoff move, but pretty good reflexes by Davis over at first. He gets back in time without a dive. Works quickly once again, and the 2-1 pitch is hit into deep center field. Mike Anu sprinting back, Ashton Wilson, and he will watch it fall behind him. It's over Wilson's head. Rounding third from first is Davis. The throw's cut off. It's an RBI double as Charlie Bates cruises into second, and this is a tie ball game. RBI number 5 on the season for Bates, the second time he's reached today. And again, the Commodores run into some trouble with 2 outs this season.
Opponents hitting nearly 300 against the Commodores when there's 2 outs. 11 home runs make that 83 hits now, and a big one to tie the ball game.
Time from home plate umpire Brian DiDimencio. As Davis comes around to score. Brand new 3-3 ball game. One just kept carrying and carrying over Wilson's head in a left center. Kind of took an awkward path at it. New almost had a chance at it. That one's fouled down the 3rd baseline for foul ball. 0-1 count now for another JUCO product. Now heading to NC State, Devin Mitchell. Runner takes off for 3rd base, pitches low, and no throw from Yaman. And a check swing says it didn't go too on the low fastball, make it a 1-1 count. And the Another runner 90 feet away, still 2 outs. It's the one thing you see a lot more on the Cape than really any other level of baseball. Taking third base with 2 outs.
Absolutely.
Usually frowned upon in a lot of other leagues, but runners have a ton of
Kid-friendly option. We deliver the kid-friendly option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just one click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
I'm Trevor Baumler, right-handed pitcher from TCU, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Commodores score the first 3 runs of this ball game, but Hyannis has tied up 3 straight in innings 4 and 5. We've reached the top of the 6th. So we have 4 innings of this game all knotted up in the middle third of the Commodores lineup to start things off and see the first full inning of work for lefty Mason Russell through just 12 pitches, 9 of them for strikes, and he came in relief. Hyannis starter Carson Yama. Ken Schmitz had quite the day today. 2 for 2, couple of singles and 2 RBIs on the year. Pitched way low for ball 1. And has had a lot of success here at McKeon Park. One and only ode came here against the Harbor Hawks. He's got 2 of those on the season, 14 RBIs before the 2 today. Now he's got 16. This one bounced right to the first baseman, Camacho, who steps on first base. He's back in that 4th inning of the game where Falmouth was kind of out of the game already. It's the first time he's been retired today on a ground out to first unassisted. 1 gone. Nobody on base for Justin Osterhaus. He's got a couple of ground outs. One of them a fielder's choice, so both balls go into second base today. We saw his first long ball yesterday. First pitch fired inside for ball 1, just a bit tight on the new Alabama Crimson Tide. Finished in the middle of the pack of the SEC this past year. But a lot of young talent and a really good transfer portal class heading into 26. Osterhaus punches 1 foul opposite way. Give it a count up to 1-1. Home run went along with another single he had yesterday to complete a 2 for 4 day where he scored twice and had the 1 RBI. Change up, foul back this time. And puts Russell ahead of the count now. 1 ball, 2 strike. Russell's been very efficient at this point now. He's got an ERA of 8.1 coming into this and a decent amount of appearances, about 2 innings per appearance, 6 and 2/3 innings pitched coming into this game. Up on the 1-2, just off the plate, we're even. An 8.1 ERA to go with a 1.65 whip. No decisions for him on the line of fire. The 2-2 this time again bounced in the dirt and off the chest of Briggs. Bounces all the way to the dugout. Can't feel good for Briggs behind the plate.
Should out also love his catcher's equipment from Minnesota.
Yeah,
that is a really stylish little yellow and brown he's got there.
Counts run full on Osterhaus with 1 out and nobody on. Payoff pitch, fouled back again. So pitch number 8 coming up in the AB.
We agree North Carolina has the best colors in college sports.
Yeah, it's hard to really argue with that.
Yeah.
Try a payoff again for the southpaw. Osterhaus stays alive. And with another foul ball off. I think our producer, Dan Pillow, is he saying Texas? I think that's one of the worst takes I've heard.
Burnt.
I do not like the burnt orange.
Yeah.
If you're going to go orange, then maybe like a Tennessee orange. The Florida orange and blue combo is pretty
That's
cool.
pretty good.
Pitch number 9 incoming. Another payoff pitch. Osterhouse swung out of his shoes. It's a backpedal. He swung and missed. 2 quick outs now. And strikeout number 2 for Mason Russell.
Speaking of Florida.
The left fielder
Speaking
from
of Florida, speaking
number
of
9,
strikeouts, Ashton Wilson 0 for
Wilson.
2 today. Both of them looking. And both of them were ones where he's been pretty frustrated. This is something to say to home plate umpire before he walked off the field. So we'll be interested to see what Brian DiDimencio kind of zone he gives him. A lot of times he'll widen that zone a little bit on hitters who have something to say. And the first pitch is called strike on the outer part. And right away, Ashton Wilson shaking his head in disagreement.
I always wonder, too, if umpires remember these guys. You see a lot of hitters during a game.
One in that same spot really felt like. This time it's called a ball outside. And for Wilson, I mean, that was a little more of an extended conversation that last time before he went back to the dugout. Change up is way high this time, no doubt about it. He's ahead 2-1.
But if you're Russell and you were watching that start from Yasa and you saw him get rung up, I would continue to pump that outer corner and just frustrate Wilson all you want.
That's one where Russell was in the bullpen for a lot of that, so I don't know how much he remembers from it. And the 2-1 pitch is sky down the first base line, up and out of play towards the power lines past the dugout. I think it hit the light pole in foul territory down the right field line.
As long as the Ospreys are all right.
It is at the top of, I think, like every single light pole. That'll leave in the count. Deuces are wild. 2-2 with 2 outs. That one. He had a 2 for 2 day, his first time for the Commodores. It was on Wednesday back in Brewster. It was one really hard hit single and then one sort of bloop single. They did it to opposite ways too. The hard hit single was the one the opposite way. He blooped the one he pulled. So Wilson at first base, a long look at him from Russell. The lefty will throw over to first base after taking a step off the mound. Before the first pitch comes into the righty, Eddie Yaman. The Harbor Hawks are out hitting the Commodores 6-3 on this game. Commodores have the only 2 errors. Now the first pitch comes home with a check swing, top of the zone. He did not go, says first base umpire Rank Brickton. No at-bats for Yaman this pass. Yaman settles back in. There's been 3 throw-overs and just 1 pitch. It's a 1-0 count. Runner takes off for second. But he'll have to go back to first. Yaman fouls a high fastball up and out of play. That will leave the count up at 1-1. So good reason for Russell paying really close attention to Ashton Wilson over at first base. Wilson just the 1 stolen base in his first about week and a half with the Commodores. And another 1-1 pitch above the letters for ball 2.
Yaman has kind of implemented himself into the lineup right away, and you know, for some guys it'll take that adjustment period a little bit easier, but with the Commodores in the back half, you need someone to step up kind of right away.
2-1 popped up high and out of play again. It's Falmouth. Let's say it's 6-7 or no 5-6-7. It's really fought off a lot of pitches. Go back to Osterhouse in the full count strikeout. Ashton Wilson with a nice at bat. Plate appearance, I should say, with a walk, but also, you know, obviously nice to have 2 catchers in the lineup now, or in the roster now. Try another 2-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Yaman fouls another one back. All of these have been behind home plate and pitches that is just a little low, or it swings a little low on. Russell's really trying to find the top part of that zone. That one came a bit outside.
Think too about that conversation we had about those catchers and how with Petrani and McCann leaving rather quickly, you needed those voids to fill.
Russell stares down first base, couple of looks, now comes home. The 2-2's bounced in the dirt, got away, and the runner's going to go to second base. The was a conversation initially from the home plate umpire about, I think, the catcher Brody Briggs wanting some sort of interference from Eddie Yaman at the plate. There was no chance for him to get Ashton Wilson, who was already on his way to second base. Now he's in scoring position, an opportunity for Eddie Yaman to get his first RBI of the summer. Falmouth, at least. And the count's run full. Another payoff pitch is inside, so 2 quick outs in this top of the 6th, but back-to-back walks. There's runners at second. Now an opportunity for Reese
The
Maroney.
second baseman.
Just back-to-back tremendous at-bats from Wilson and Yaman. 2 strikes, foul away. 2 strikes, foul away. And now we'll have a meeting on the mound. For good reason. I feel like Russell's been out here for what feels like 30 minutes to face 4 hitters.
That's the crazy part about it, is it has only been 4 hitters, and Justin Osterhaus, who struck out, also had a full count along at bat. So this is just a 3-man meeting between Russell, Briggs, pitching coach for the Harbor Hawks. The Hawks pitching coach who makes a slow walk back to the home third base dugout. Extended conversation for Briggs as he slowly makes his way behind home plate. Maroney, no official at-bats today. A couple of walks. He's still looking for his first base hit as a Falmouth Commodore. He does have an RBI already, though, on a sac fly. And he's got a chance with first and second. Still 2 outs in the inning. And a 3-3 tie in the top of the 6th. That one bounced to the dirt again, but a really good block by Briggs. He looks Wilson back to second base. It'll let him stay there. So it's really been, it feels like every single pitcher who's had trouble even getting the ball to the plate. I mean, there's been 4 pitchers in this game. I can remember vividly a couple of pitches like that from all 4 of them. Been tough on the catchers. Now the 1-0 pitch, top of the zone, called strike on a slider.
Yeah, the mound is still 60 feet, 6 inches for everyone out there, but it's been a tough night.
Just a little extra practice for Brody Briggs and Eddie Yaman.
Doesn't need it. That's why we're here on Summer Ball.
Exactly. 1-1 count. Maroney down the right field line. Mitchell giving a chase, tailing foul. He's at the wall, in fair territory. Makes the catch at the track for out number. Cross, they leave 2 on in the middle of the 6th. So the Harbor Hawks come up at a tie, 3-3 game. Doors on the radio on Cape League TV.
Hi, I'm Jim Murray, owner of Falmouth's historic clam shack, now Jim's Clam Shack. Located on scenic Falmouth Harbor, Jim's Clam Shack is a destination for the best seafood and sunsets on the Cape. We're open 7 days a week, so stop by for lunch or join us for dinner on the rooftop deck. Bring the entire family to try our wide selection of seafood and option. We deliver the freshest products to your plates daily. Jim's Clam Shack, proud supporter of the Falmouth Commodores.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just 1 click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store, located at 147 T-Ticket Highway, and try a slice today.
I'm Devin Sheeran, right-handed pitcher from LSU, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod Baseball League.
TJ Coates back out for his third inning of work and trying to hold these Hyannis Harbor Hawks at bay. Gave up the game-tying run back in 5th inning. On an RBI double from Charlie Bates. He'll make his way towards the bottom of the lineup, though, of this Hyannis lineup. It's 8-9-1 with Brody Briggs leading things off. Who has had a big day for Hyannis. He had an infield single back in the 1st inning, but the 4th inning as when Harbor Hawks got the scoring started. A 2-run home run, scored both him and Charlie Bates. All 3 of these runs have been on Charlie Coates. 3 scoreless for Leif Palmer to start us off, and to start the inning off, it's a strike on the inside corner at the knees. 2 breaks. So the 2 for 2 day comes after a game where he didn't start yesterday. Mostly gets the start against the righties, but they saw lefty for Chatham yesterday. Threw one in the dirt for ball 1. Just a 506 OPS before that home run. It was just RBIs number 5 and 6 on the year for him. LA feels weird just saying that because a long time ago you couldn't put Arizona State today.
The center
Ryan
fielder
D.
from
Demencio,
VMI,
the leadoff man,
#3,
is on.
Owen Prince.
The Harbor Hawks, it's Brody Briggs at first base. He does not run extraordinarily well. Just this 1 stolen base this summer and 1 stolen base this past year at Arizona State. Squaring around a bunt. The VMI center fielder Owen Prince, he pulls it back because the pitch was low. It's ball 1.
First guy we've seen from the Virginia Military Institute.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of a mouthful when you really put
Oh, it
your
absolutely
mind to
is.
it. VMI rolls off the tongue a little
lot
bit
better.
Check swing, and it's the home plate umpire, Di Demencio, who's going to make that call with no appeal to first or third. It wouldn't be third, but it's a called strike. It's 1-1. Briggs just a very short lead off of first base. No look over from TJ Coates, and a fastball right down Broadway, taken by Prince for strike 2. Coates back ahead of the count. 2 innings plus so far. Those are the 3 strikeouts. Want the 3 earned runs. When I thought about taking off for second base, it's a swing and a miss. Prince down on strikes, but between the knees of Hyannis that allows the runner to advance. Brody Briggs with a jog up to second base. The 4th strikeout.
The shortstop
The appearance
from
for
North Carolina,
TJ Coates,
14,
but what at scoring
Jake
position. The go-ahead run here at the
Schaffner.
bottom of the 6th. At the top of the lineup coming up is Jake Schaffner.
It's not a trade you love to make too with a strikeout and the runner advances. It's basically just more so like a sack bunt.
Yeah. So, unless you get that out of it, Owen Prince has struck out a couple of times in his first few starts here for Hyannis. TJ Coates with a lollipop throw over to second, just to avoid the disengagement. Jake Schaffner still awaiting the first pitch. He's 1-3 today. Strikeout, fly out of the first 2 at-bats, and infield single back of the 4th. Squares around a bunt, fouled off to the left side. Schaffner, the transfer over from North Dakota State to North Carolina. It's about as two-way as you can get. Not in terms of a typical two-way guy when you think of a baseball sense. Not a pitcher, but was known for his defense. Long leadoff second for Briggs. Had to sprint back when TJ Coates caught him, but Briggs gets back just in time. Still a 1-1 count of the lefty Schaffner. He was 1 for 3 yesterday with that grand slam. So the 4 RBIs and then 1 run, the only base hit for him. And his first home run of the year. RBIs number 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the year for him too. 0-1 pitch right down Broadway for strike 2.
We talk about this leadoff guys more, especially on the Falmouth side, but that really works universally where when you are the leadoff guy, there's not usually the bases loaded in front of you to drive in runs, and do 4 of them, you got to take advantage of it.
Coates a deep breath and a couple looks to second, and will throw to second. Adrian Lopez has to sprint to make that play before that ball could get into center, and of course with 1 out, that would be a bad mistake from Coates. Commodores already have 2 errors today.
Lucky Lopez got a wingspan of about 15 feet. Not really, but.
It sounds like a pretty good nickname, Lucky Lopez. Yeah. I'll have to ask him about it. 0-2 pitch, got off down the 3rd base line. Ashton Wilson wants to give it a run, but that's way out of play into the trees behind the left field bullpen for Hyannis. Still an 0-2 count after just 3 pitches from Coates and a few throwovers to second base. And it's the second baseman, Luigi. Change up, first pitch swinging, first pitch fouling it to the Falmouth dugout. Just a bit early on it, Luigi. 1 for 3 today, single pop up fly out. That single came back at the first inning where it started to look like it could be in for a long one on Leif Palmer. It was a single and an error on the 2nd and 3rd at bats of that first. 1-0 pitch laced into center field, but right at Mike Adu. Sticks his glove up and makes the play for out number 3. So the Hyannis Harborhawks once again put the leadoff runner on, but a couple of strikeouts set a line out to get TJ Coates out of the 6th.
Fans,
The third
if you have
away
a
left
dog
to go
and
in a
received
tied
red
3-3
ticket,
game
pull those out.
on Cape League
Here are
TV.
the 3 winning.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, President of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
I'm Bear Harrison, catcher from Texas A&M College, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Southpaw Allen Russell will have the 7th, at least the beginning of the 7th, as he'll face 9-1-2 in the Commodore lineup. Antonio Morales to lead things off against Russell. Just 2 full for him. He struck out a couple on 38 pitches so far. And 2 home plate foul. Morales making the change from Wake Forest to Maryland this upcoming season. He had an OPS of just 728 in limited appearances. You could tell he's a contact guy and had a slower year with just a 233 batting average, really unlike Morales as he watches the 0-1 go outside 1-1.
And he's kind of been getting away from his game a little bit in the sense of he's putting a lot more balls in the air. It's just not really his playing style at all.
Comes home with a 1-1. This time it's low on a slider, and it puts Morales ahead of the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. But yeah, it's definitely been more balls in the air. Saw a lot of ground ball singles, maybe some hard hit liners for him in the first week or so when he really made a lot of his money. One line back into left field. Past the glove of the third baseman Davis. It'll be picked up and left by Bates. That's a pretty hard hit ball the opposite way by Antonio Morales. That's what we saw the first couple of weeks. 91 miles an hour off the bat. Leadoff runner on for the Commodores, and that's the leadoff 9-hole guy on. Thing about that too, so maybe that's why Jared Soltomaki likes having him in the 9-hole. Kind of wraps around the lineup a little bit. It's a new age of kind of the quote-unquote second leadoff man. Now the real leadoff man, Carl Schmidt, with a runner on first and nobody out at a tie 3-3 matchup between the Harborhawks and Commodores. Throw over to first base. Morales does have the ability to steal. Only a couple at Wake Forest this past season, but again, that was in not as many starts. Now comes home with the first pitch. Schmidt way out in front of a breaking ball, and he's down 0-1. Swings out of his helmet. The helmet hit the floor there. Maybe just wants to show off this. He's got a pretty good head of hair.
You say that about a lot of guys on this team.
Well, you know
why?
Very
jealous.
I mean, you are your head coach. You are your manager. Jared Soltomaki has got that head of hair.
It's true.
0-1 changeup just bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Schmidt, 0 for 2 today, reached on a walk. That was the very first plate appearance of this game, just a 5-pitch walk. Kind of set the tone for Yasa. Change up, Schmidt, hard hit into left, a liner right at Bates. That's going to drop in left center. Round second, Antonio Morales gets a late stop sign as a throw goes to second from center fielder Owen Prince. Schmidt's in there safely. Morales up to third. It's the first base hit of the game for Schmidt, and it's a double 2 in scoring position here in this top of the 7th with nobody out.
Just a really good swing from Schmidt, where that pitch was middle, and just drives that on a line out to left center field. He's been more of a gap-to-gap hitter during this hot streak for him, and just doing what he does best.
With a couple of righties due up in the Falmouth lineup, Hyannis Harborhawks want to go to a righty. That's it for Mason Russell as he'll slowly make his way off the mound and a pitching change. We'll have more on the new arm on the other end of this break. Doors on the radio on Cape League TV.
I'm Adrian Lopez, an infielder from University of Southern California, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Third pitcher of the game for Hyannis. They call on the LSU Tiger, Chandler Dorsey, in his second appearance against the Commodores this season. And overall, his 7th appearance on the Cape, but second year in Hyannis. He pitched in a few games last year as well. But he's been all right in his 6 appearances this year, 5 of those out of relief, but a 5.56 ERA and 11 1/3 innings pitched. He'll inherit runners on second and third base with nobody out in the 7th inning. Commodores and Harborhawks all knotted up at 3.
USC number 18, Adrian Lopez.
Dorsey transferred to LSU after a couple of seasons at South, and he was achieved a national champion this past year. A couple of LSU guys on Falmouth's side, Devin Sheeran, and today's starting catcher, Eddie Yaman. We'll face the toughest part of this Falmouth lineup, 2, 3, and 4. Adrian Lopez, though, has not had his day. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, trying to avoid the golden sombrero on the first pitch. Brody Briggs has to dive outside to keep that from getting the backstop, saving a run, but it's ball 1. Lopez's 3 strikeouts. It's the first time he struck out 3 times in a game this year. The righty on righty matchup. Big reason they went to Dorsey. Wanted to get the lefty out of there as Lopez tips one into the mitt of Briggs. Or strike 1. But both Lopez and New being righties with the lefty Russell still on the mound. But Dorsey only had 5 appearances at LSU this last year, an ERA extremely similar to this summer. It was at 5.4. 1-1 slider again runs off the plate to put Lopez back ahead of the count. In his 6 appearances this year, he's walked 8 batters, struck out 15 in 11 of the 3rd innings pitched. So he's got good strikeout stuff. 2-1. Lopez fouls back behind home plate to even things up at 2-2. Lopez only 6 RBIs on the year. He's been hitting 3rd for the vast majority of this season. You'd think it'd be a little bit higher with the way guys in front of him like Carl Schmidt and Antonio Morales have gone on base. But this Falmouth Commodore team is last in the Cape Cod Baseball League with runners in scoring position, just 215 on the year. Awaits the 2-2. Change up, swung on and missed. For a 4th time today, Adrian Lopez sat down on strikes. That's now 2 swinging and 2 looking. And a huge first out with runners on second and third. And the Commodores' best hitter coming to the plate, Micah New.
Just one of those days for Adrian Lopez where Your timing, even if it's off by just a second, it feels like a whole lot, and that starts to compound as the game goes on. You're not getting a piece of anything, and then it just becomes more of a frustration thing more than anything.
Morales still stands at third. Carl Schmidt at second base with Mike Adu. Last time up, he doubled. Has taken the first pitch down the left field line, down for a base hit. This will score a couple. Carl Schmidt scores, and rounding third base, Antonio Morales picked up and left by Bates. And the Falmouth Commodores retake the lead on an RBI double. 2 runs from Mike Anu.
That is why having a guy like that in your lineup is so important, because the guy in front can't do the job, and that's kind of been the issue when Mike Anu has not been in the lineup after getting ready for the MLB draft, is no guys behind him could really take care of it.
Now for Ken Schmidt, who watches the first pitch fastball below the zone for ball 1. 2 singles the first 2 at-bats for Schmidt, and he grounded out to first unassisted, the most recent time up. Schmidt missed a lot of time for Georgia Tech, about 20 games to be exact, and he still had 43 RBIs. So no surprise to see him with 16 on this summer. That was one down the left field line. 2 towards the top of the leaderboard for the Commodores this year, both New and Schmidt. Batting average of 260. 2-1 again. Fastball up and out. Starting to look like Dorsey's had a very up and down relationship with the zone in this inning. 95 miles an hour on that fastball. And a step back to recollect himself now. His first disengagement. He's got the hitter's count on Ken Schmidt. 1 for 3 day yesterday. He also reached on a walk. Change up right down the middle of the zone. We've run full. It's now reached 4 times in the last couple of games combined. Center reached twice the day before, 2 at Brewster. Another 1 for 3 day and a walk. Full count, runner on second base with 1 out, and a 5-3 Commodores lead at the top of the 7th. The payoff just off the end of the bat down the third base line, and trickles foul before it hits third base. So Mike Adu heads back to second base. Ken Schmidt will try another full count. Pitch number 7 of the AB coming up.
And how about the way these Commodores hitters have battled in this one? I really think back to that last inning where Osterhaus, Wilson, and Yaman had some long ABs, and it really tired out Mason Russell, and even getting to now in Dorsey. It's really frustrating, these pitchers.
Dorsey has thrown just 12 pitches now, and the 3 batters, actually just the 2 batters he's faced in Lopez and New. The payoff again, fastball up and tight for ball 4. Ken Schmidt has reached for a 3rd time today. He's walked in 3 straight games. There's again 2 runners on. They're on first and second for Justin Osterhaus as the Commodores are trying to add on to this 5-3 lead at the top of the 7th. Schmidt's been walking a lot more too. You see pretty much every number for him increase in the last few weeks.
I mean, he is one of the most disciplined players in the league. He strikeouts the 3rd lowest rate on Cape Cod, around only 9%.
Osterhaus stands in on the first pitch as a changeup. Called strike on the outer part of the plate. 0 for 3 with a couple groundouts to second and a strikeout. He's a junior from Grand Rapids, Michigan. 10 multi-RBI games this past year at Purdue Fort Wayne. Had an RBI yesterday, but not a multi-RBI game. It was a solo shot as he punches this one foul. Let's just have the 9 RBIs on the year, so he's almost to double digits. And home run came after a game where he had an RBI single in the first inning against Brewster on Wednesday. So he's another guy starting to heat up right in the heart, that middle of the Falmouth lineup. but he's down at an 0-2 hole here. Chandler Dorsey comes home with the 0-2, swing and a miss. Osterhouse went downstairs to try to get it, comes up empty. Dorsey gets another big strikeout, keeping the runners put. Strikeout number 2,
from Florida,
and just
number
4
9,
batters for him.
Ashton Wilson.
Now Ashton Wilson has struck out twice and walked. Mike Adu at second base, Ket Schmidt at first. Now 2 gone. At the top of the 7th, 5-3 Commodores lead after a 2-run double for Mike Adu. First pitch changeup gets away from Briggs. Both runners advance. A check down to first base. He did go. Making it 0-1 count. Schmidt hasn't really swung at a lot today. He struck out looking twice, then walked, so he's only swung the bat a couple of times. Both strikeouts were pretty quick. Strikeouts too, and not many pitches. As you know, he's got a few hits for Falmouth, and he's come up big a couple of times with a home run and 5 RBIs in his first 2 weeks here. But he's also struck out a decent amount. Down 0-1, make it 0-2. What a changeup. Bell tipped into the Briggs. Right at his knees. That time Wilson had a chance to hit it, but couldn't come up with it. He's down 0-2. Chandler Dorsey trying to get strikeout number 3. On the 5th batter he's faced. No look to first or second base. He just comes home with the 0-2. It's a swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout of the game for Ashton Wilson. Same slider down in the zone. But the Falmouth Commodores take the lead back. Mike Anu doing Micah Anu things. Time to stretch here at McKeon Park. 5-3 Commodores on Cape League TV.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
I'm Mark Quattrani, catcher from Cornell University, currently in the transfer portal, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Commodores is Grant Meert, who will make appearance number 2 on the season. And this is a first Falmouth Commodore.
Leading off for the Harbor Hawks, the designated hitter from Michigan State, number 5,
reached the bottom
Ryan
of the
McKay.
7th inning. The Rising Junior from Johns Hopkins came in against Wareham just back on Sunday. Pitched 1 2/3 scoreless. Struck out just 1 batter, did walk a couple. The 1 base hit was pretty clean against the Gatemen. He started off with heart this Harbor Hawk lineup. 3-4-5, Ryan McKay leads things off, marking on an 0-for-3 day today. First pitch, fastball just off the plate for ball 1. That came in at 89 miles an hour. Meert not going to be someone who blows you away with the fastball velocity-wise. A couple of flyouts for McKay. Reached on an error back in the first inning and another fastball low. It's 2-0. And Michigan State Spartans leading this Hyannis team base percentage. 2nd in batting average at .322. He's got 10 RBIs, hitting in that 3 spot. He's been a consistent part of this 3 spot for about 2 weeks. Definitely against lefties too. Fouls off the 2-0 for the first strike. Take a look at some other scores around the league. The Bourne Braves are taking on the new first place Wareham Gateman, but it's a 9-1 lead for Bourne. They have an 8-run lead there at Spillane. Excuse me, check swing, foul ball down the third base line. Foul picked up by the third base coach. Harwich in a tight one with Couture to the bottom of the 7th. They're up 2-1 with the runner on first. And the Whitey Red Sox blanking the Orleans Firebirds to the bottom of the 6th, 4-0. The Chatham Anglers, after a 7-run loss to these Hyannis Harborhawks, now up 7-zip against the Brewster Whitecaps. That one happening at Veterans Field. Another one fouled off by McKay. We're all even up to 2-2. It's so hard to track day to day, even remember, what team's in what spot of the standings. It has just changed so much. Change up, hit hard right at the left fielder. Ashton Wilson has to take a couple steps back, but he hauls it in for out number 1.
Wareham, winners of 7 straight. Looks like that winning streak is going to come to a close tonight, but it's really been remarkable that team's turnaround. You think about just over a week ago, they were 7-13, bottom of the barrel, 6 games below 500. Didn't feel like they had a chance to even sniff a postseason appearance. Now they're first in the division, the only team over 500 in the West Division.
I don't think we've had a single 2-day stretch where we've seen the same exact standings just in terms of spots.
There's
in the standings.
no way it's happened. It can't be.
First pitch to the cleanup hitter, Gabe Camacho. He started off 1-0 on a slider outside. Camacho 1 for 3, does have a couple of strikeouts, but a single sandwiched in between, and he pops one in foul territory. The catcher Yaman lost it, finally finds it off his glove, off the chest, and to the backstop. Can't make the play. So that was really not far from his original position. But he cannot find the ball, just found it a little bit late. Grant Meert came sprinting up to try to make the play. Third baseman Justin Osterhaus came in as well, couldn't make it. So that is a tough break for the Commodores.
I'm surprised he even saw it the last moment. He had no idea where it was for about 90% of the ball being in the air.
Well, he got his glove on it too.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part. But it is a strike, so it's a 1-1 count now on the lefty Camacho. Change up, swing and a miss. Meert's ahead now. Well, Meert was spectacular at Johns Hopkins this past season. An ERA just above 3. And you got to be pretty spectacular at the Division III level to make your way up here to Cape Cod. We've seen it, a few of them though. 1-2 fastball, cut on and missed. Meert brought the heat up to 92 miles an hour after his first fastball was 89. Swing and a miss from Gabe Camacho, the first strikeout. And that's a couple of times now. After the strikeout, Brian DiDimencio, the home plate umpire's got to say something to the Falmouth dugout. Maybe talking some trash as Camacho walks back to third base dugout. No matter what, it's 2 quick outs, 5-3 Commodores lead. Last hope of the inning is Miles Davis to keep it going. Reached on a hit by pitch his last time up, and he's behind a fastball 0-1.
I'll give you something even cooler about Grant. He had a 4.0 this past semester in molecular biology.
You don't study molecular biology?
Not even remotely close.
0-1 at the knee, slider, cold strike 2. They do say that the 2 toughest majors class-wise are molecular biology and sports broadcasting.
Who said that?
Me. So Meert's been efficient. Now he's up 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Fastball blown by Miles Davis again. Grant Meert bringing the heat. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 7th. Commodores 6 outs away. It's Doors. Doors on the radio on Cape League TV.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. It's extensive everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just 1 click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
Hi, I'm Michael Kasparian, president of the Falmouth Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber is here for the benefit of the whole community. Whether you're a local business or a visitor, Falmouth has endless offerings, from its beautiful beaches and historical sites to its local shopping and eateries. The Chamber bridges the 8 villages, providing visitors with all the tools to make their trip one to remember. Our visitor center is located in downtown Falmouth, just off of Main Street. Come by and meet our team. The Falmouth Chamber of Commerce, your community connection.
My name is Kent Schmidt, and I play first base from Georgia Tech, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
We've reached inning number 8 here at McKeon Park, and the Falmouth Commodores in the driver's seat of this ball game, trying to pick up their first win over the Harbor Hawks in 4 tries this season. The last game before the All-Star break, that'll be the longest any team gets this season. Back-to-back off days, Saturday, Sunday, at least for those who are not playing in the All-Star game, which feels like not many on this Commodores team. They have 8, the most of any team, heading to Yarmouth tomorrow afternoon. Chandler Dorsey's second inning on the mound. He'll face the bottom third of the Commodores lineup, Yaman Moroni Morales. Working out of the windup, Dorsey comes home, and the first pitch is swung on, grounded out, picked up at third base, dropped, picked up again, throw to first, and a pick at first base by Camacho. Miles Davis with the fumble, pick up and throw over to first, and Camacho's a nice play to retire Yaman.
6, Reese Maroney.
2 guys that were a little frustrated after a pair of strikeouts last inning. They make the defensive play.
So Reese Maroney comes up. Looked like Yaman had a lot of time to beat that up, but being a catcher, not one of the faster guys on the team. And then Miles Davis has a cannon for an arm over at third base. 1 out, nobody on base for pass ball right down Broadway. He was taking all the way. Looking at 94 miles an hour. Dorsey's topped out at 95. Maroney just 0 for 1 with a couple of flyouts. Excuse me, a couple of walks. Just the 1 flyout. It's right, his most recent appearance. That was a long run for Devin Mitchell. Cold strike, bottom part of the plate. Make it 1-1 on him now. That was what he hit hard down the right field line the opposite way. On 1 pitch, got the bat head around and just fouled it off down the right field line out of play. So Maroney down to a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Still looking for his first hit as a Falmouth Commodore. It's only been 3 official at-bats. Got a ton of other plate appearances with a sac fly and a couple of walks. Really good. 3 walks for him now in a Commodores uniform. Change up in the dirt for ball 2. Really taking his time working on the mound. See what the 2-2 pitch is. It's a fastball. Just outside for ball 3. It's pretty close. It seems like the zone for home plate umpire D. Dimencio is kind of shrunk as new pitchers are coming to this game.
I think too, Ashton Wilson pretty frustrated to hear that.
And a payoff with 1 out. Grounded once again at Miles Davis. This time a cleaner pickup. The throw to first on line for out number 2. Miles Davis a busy first 2 at-bats in the home or visiting half of the 8th.
The right fielder
7-8
from
retired
Maryland,
Antonio
number 2,
Morales, the 9-hitter.
Antonio Morales.
After a single just an inning ago. Come up 2 outs. Hyannis will shade the lefty Morales a little bit to the right. The first baseman Camacho is standing on the first base foul line. First pitch to Morales is below the zone for ball 1. Harbor Hawks trailing the Commodores by 2 runs, and they have 6 outs to get those 2 runs. Falmouth would love to add on. 2 gone in the 8th with nobody on base. 1-0 this time does catch a piece of the bottom part for strike 1. Before the single for Morales, it was a line out and a ground out. lefty warming up, righty warming up in the Hyannis bullpen. Morales fouls back into the net. Not much going on, not really anything going on in the Falmouth bullpen though there. Their defense, why would you? Quick, 7th inning, 1-2-3 for Grant Beard. Morales stands back in for the 1-2 count. Dorsey looks at him, throws a pitch, breaking ball in the dirt, but caught on and missed by Antonio Morales. He went golfing.
Fans, I'm here with today's Ira Toyota fan of the game. This is Tom, dad of Jake Schaffner, who's the Hawks shortstop.
Introducing Open Cape, the local nonprofit internet service provider in this region. Open Cape's fast and reliable network is 100% fiber optic, providing affordable internet connectivity. To learn more, visit opencape.org and always speak with a live Open Cape representative. Open Cape, providing choice and competition for your home or business and the official internet provider of your Falmouth Commodores.
We are Open Cape.
Hi, my name is Matt Burgess, General Manager here at Falmouth Country Club. We have a unique 27-hole public golf course with a beautiful layout that is family-oriented. Kids play free here at Falmouth Country Club. Getting on the course is quick and easy with our app. You can book tee times, get yardages with GPS, use our interactive scorecard, track your stats, and receive exclusive in-app offers. Falmouth Country Club is a true Cape Cod classic and a local family favorite.
See you on the course.
I'm Jackson Manesco, left-handed pitcher from Bryant, and you're listening to Commodores Baseball on Cape League TV.
Harbor Hawks needing a little bit of spark of offense with 6 outs to work with.
Leading off
Heading
for
into
the
the
Harbor
bottom
Hawks, the
of
left
the 8th
fielder
inning.
from Stanford,
It's
number
a
17,
5-3 down Commodores lead. Grant Beard heading back out for his 2nd inning of action. 6-7-8 for the Harbor Hawks. Bates, Mitchell, and Briggs due up in the inning. Beard wants to rerun through the first signs he gets of this game. It's the first lefty out of the bullpen for the Commodores today. This is a very lefty-heavy pitching staff for him. The first pitch is a fastball low and outside for ball 1. Back in that 7th inning, his first fastball he threw was just 89 miles an hour. He dialed it up to 92 with back-to-back strikeout fastballs on Camacho and Davis, the 4 and 5 hitters for the Harbor Hawks. Brian DiDimencio, the home plate umpire, calls time.
We're going to do pitch comp.
And we're going to need to do pitch comp. Pitch comp issues for Eddie Yaman and Grant Beard. I'll tell you what, I know you obviously didn't cover college baseball this past season at Syracuse because Syracuse doesn't have a team, but you've paid a lot of attention to college baseball. There are not nearly as many pitch comm issues here on the Cape as there are in
There's
school
not,
ball.
yeah.
It's pretty absurd how many there are in college.
There's a whole lot. I remember when we were watching, it was into the Super Regionals. I forget what game it was, but there had to be at least 10 stops in an inning.
Charlie Bates back in the box. Fastball runs inside, making 2-0. And one of my least favorite parts of college baseball, teams on travel curfews who are trying to extend games.
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started.
Because with pitch comm, you can't, that's not something that like you don't have a certain amount of pitch comm issues you can have in a game.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that A&M game? It was like 4:30 on a Sunday. Some team was
It was A&M in Kentucky.
Yes,
Texas
thank
A&M,
you.
Kentucky.
Yep.
2-1 pitch is hit hard into center. Mike can do a sprint into center field. It'll drop in for a base hit. Leadoff man is on here in the home half of the 8th. Charlie Bates has his 2nd base hit of the day. After the RBI double in the 5th, he was the one who tied it up. He's going to try to get something going for the Harbor Hawks with Devin Mitchell coming to the plate. Actually, not Devin Mitchell. We do have a pinch hitter for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Looks like that's going to be
Attention please, batting
28,
for
Jace
Mitchell.
Doby, the Nevada
From
Wolfpack.
Nevada, number 28, Jace Doby.
Gets the start typically against lefties. He did get a start yesterday against Chatham. The rising senior from Santa Clara, California. Had an opportunity with a runner on first and nobody out. take a first pitch up at the eyes for ball one. There is a lot of chirping going on between the Falmouth and Hyannis dugouts right now. Both teams got, I think it was maybe an informal warning from the home plate umpire just an inning ago. 1-0 count on Dobie. This one, a slider at the knees for strike one. Feels like a lot of D3 players that teams have gotten have been pitchers as opposed to hitters. Of course, Tristan Slade is coming for North Greenville, though, is a hitter for this Falmouth team. 1-1 count, same spot at the knees, same pitch, it's a slider, and it's a 1-2 count now, near to head.
I mean, just look at last night with the Firebirds. DC Brown from WPI comes in, D3 out in Worcester.
Pretty awesome first name, too.
Yeah.
DC Brown, that was one of the best. Comes home with a 1-2 and pumps it foul towards the first base light pole. Up and out of play on a field where a bunch of kids are playing behind us.
And also, too, for Grant, coming from a school where baseball is not usually the #1 priority there. That's Johns Hopkins. That is a lacrosse hotbed. The only school, or I should say the only sport they're D1 in.
1-2's way upstairs for ball two. It's also an academic hotbed,
powerhouse,
especially
yes,
if you're trying to study molecular biology. Maybe not sports broadcasting. Out of the same conversation.
I mean, we didn't even get 4.0s in that. Never mind biology.
Comes home 2-2, hit hard at the center again. This time it is right at Mike Anu. I don't think he moved a step. He brought it in for the first out. That'll keep Charlie Bates at bay at first base. Boy, a lot of hard lineouts for the Hyannis hitters today.
I mean, I can just think of 4 or 5 that have been directly at Mike Anu, and specifically. Or the only time they really found that gap in was when Bates had that RBI double back in the 5th, and other than that, it's been right at these outfielders.
A couple of Mechanicsburgs too.
Yeah,
Jeff Lugi's got 2 of them right at Mike Anu. I know he's frustrated. This whole Harbor Hawks offense is. But it's the 8-hitter Brody Briggs who has the sole home run of this game. A 2-run shot of the 4th inning. And his first offering's outside. He left it alone. It's ball 1. The Arizona State catcher. 1-0 almost hit him. Had a turn around and make a slow walk back to the net. And I think he gets a "That's my friend" quote from one of the Harbor Hawks players in a red jersey in the dugout. Talked about he played in the Alaska Baseball League this past season for the Anchorage Bucks. Change up at the letters for ball 3. It's interesting looking into the Alaska Baseball League. They only have 5 times. A lot of cool things about the Alaska Baseball. 5 teams. A lot of cool things about the Alaska Baseball League. All 5 teams are within like a 30-minute radius of each other. Fastball, get me over pitch right down the middle of the zone for strike 1. But the funny thing about that is how big of a state Alaska is. The league covers like 0.5, no, 0.5%, because they're all within like a 30-minute
That's
radius.
true. Interesting.
Because they're like all around Anchorage. There are 2 teams in Anchorage and then others in suburbs of Anchorage. Change up outside. It's a 5-pitch walk for Brody Briggs. Now 2 on base for the Harbor Hawks. Game-tying run down at first. One at scoring position for the 9-hitter Owen Briggs.
My favorite thing that the Alaskan Baseball League does, the Midnight Sun game in Fairbanks, where they start the game at around 10:30, and it goes to like 1 in the morning on the summer solstice.
When do you get sleep?
After the game.
It's late. Grounder to left side, a diving effort. It's picked up by Lopez. It'll get into left field, actually. Station to station for the Commodores. Osterhaus tried to dive at it. Lopez was behind him. He couldn't come up with it. That's going to be an infield single. Everybody's safe. And the bases are loaded for the top of the lineup for the Harbor Hawks. Now you're in the danger zone with Jake Schaffner coming up to the plate. Schaffner's got an infield single of his own in the 4th. 2 strikeouts and a flyout. Other than it, game-tying run at second now. 5-3 Commodores. This one's lifted into left. Going back is Ashton Wilson at the track. He will make the play. It'll do the job, though. Tagging up from third base is Charlie Bates. He scores without a throw. And a Harbor Hawk with a very loud screech here at the PA to startle our whole production crew. Harbor Hawks cut the lead to 1 as runners stay put at first and second. An RBI sac fly for Jake Schaffner.
Now, if you do that after the Brody Biggs home run, I understand because you score your first. But what's within the 4th run?
Sac fly, maybe, I don't know, a Harbor Hawk
flies.
flies.
So now
Am I
that's
reaching? It's the 2-hitter Jeff Luigi. Still, it's Brody Briggs at second base, Owen Prince at first. And the first pitch comes home, change up right down the middle of the zone for strike 1 from the lefty Grant Muir.
Wait till they learn what a pop-out is. My goodness, that thing baseball soars.
Luigi had a single in his first at-bat. 0 for 3 since then. Fastball, jam, check swing did not go, even 1-1 count. That was the first earned run that Grant Meert has given up in just his second appearance. He's now thrown 32 pitches, 20 of them for strikes, an inning and 2/3. Does have a couple of strikeouts, none this inning though. It'll be a great time for his first in the inning. Change up, golfed into left field, at left fielder Wilson, he underran it! Over his head, can't make the play. Scoring from second is Briggs. Owen Prince is coming around, he scores, and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Ashton Wilson misplayed the ball in left field. Jeff Lugi's up to second base, it's 6-5 Hawks.
For that play ahead, the designated hitter from Michigan State.
They will score it a hit.
Okay.
That did hit the glove of Ashton Wilson in left field.
He took more of a direct angle at it into left center. He leapt up a little late and just deflected off his glove.
We look at an official warning from Brian DiDimencio towards the Hyannis dugout. There has been a ton of chirping on both sides today. Now I'll talk from the third base coach too. As the Harbor Hawks have stormed back from down 2 in the top of the 8th to take the lead 6-5 on a 2-run double from Jeff Luigi. Now the 3-hitter Ryan McKay with a chance for the runner in scoring position. Still 2 outs in the inning. Change up early on it, foul towards the Falmouth dugout. So much energy in the Hyannis dugout, and boy, that is all deflated from the Falmouth dugout. As now the Harbor Hawks just 3 outs away from winning this game. It'll quick turnover at the top of the 9th. They'll have to score at least 1, maybe more if the Hawks can add on. 0-1 pitch is a fastball outside. Team with the count up at 1-1.
And I think the most frustrating thing too is the way Falmouth has kind of been in control for the entirety of this ball game, and finally comes down to the bottom of the 8th for that big inning to kind of erupt.
1-1 change up, foul back. That'll go as a base hit, but you saw it, I saw it. Ashton Wilson will be the first one to say it. Should have been a ball that Ashton Wilson catches it left.
So we hate to keep harping on it, but with the 2 outs, those struggles continue.
That is, Ashton Wilson also made an error that did go down as an error.
Correct.
That scored a couple of runs in left field on Wednesday against Brewster. Meert brings Yaman out of his crouch. On a fastball way upstairs, 2-2 count now. Deuces are wild with 2-2. 2 outs and a runner on second base. A new 6-5 Harbor Hawk lead in the bottom of the 8th. Meert out of the stretch, delivering to Ryan McKay. Change up, hit high into shallow left this time. Wilson will come up and will grab it for out number 3. So Wilson makes the play, but not before. The Harbor Hawks put up a 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th. They take the lead. Commodores down to their last 3 outs to the top of the 9th on Cape League TV.
Are you looking for that perfect pregame meal? Supreme Pizza has you covered. Its extensive menu has everything from pies and calzones to salads and subs. And with its online ordering system, delicious food is just 1 click away.
It's an honor to support the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Supreme Pizza is open every day of the week. Order online or stop by their store located at 147 T-Ticket Highway and try a slice today.
You'll always be safe at home with the Diana Lucevero Group at Compass Real Estate.
I'm Mike Anu, outfielder from Marshall University, and you're listening to Commodore Baseball on Cape League TV.
Riding comes into the game for the Hyannis Harborhawks. Connor Kelly making his third appearance on the season. Just 4 innings to his name so far. After the Harborhawks take a 1-run lead on a 3-spot in the bottom of the 8th, thanks to a 2-run double from their 2-hitter Jeff Luigi. They were down 5-3. They're up 6-5. Commodores, it'll be the top of the lineup to try to tie this game up, try to extend it. Carl Schmidt, Adrian Lopez, Mike Anu. Schmidt and Anu have both had success today. Adrian Lopez, though, the golden sombrero in between them. Connor Kelly, the road runner from UTSA.
Leading off for the Commodores, a designated hitter from California, number 8, Carl Schmidt.
Carl Schmidt will be the first batter that he faces. Rising senior from Spring, Texas, not going too far. Originally started at the JUCO level for Paris Junior College. First pitch to Carl Schmidt is a fastball below the knees for ball 1. Schmidt's reached twice on a walk in the first and a double in the 7th inning. So scored a run on the 2-run double from Mike Anu on the way back in the 7th. Fastball, same spot at the B's, and Schmidt's down 0-2. It's a tough one to go down and get. That's painted perfectly at the B's. Came in at over 90 miles an hour. Little rock in the hip. And to the stretch for Kelly. Right down the middle for strike 2. I had the first pitch wrong. It was low. Count is now 1-2 on Schmidt.
And that rock back where his momentum starts on that front foot, then comes back, and then all the way forward.
Change up, Schmidt hits it high into shallow center, and backing up is Lucci, the second baseman. Now it's the center fielder, Prince. He's going to call him off and make the play for
Attention, please, taken over in left field.
Commodores
Jason
down
Dobie,
to
moving
their
from left to right,
final 2
Charlie
outs.
Bates.
Charlie Bates moves to right field. Adrian Lopez now tries to
shortstop
avoid the
from
ultra-rare
USC,
5-strikeout
18,
game.
Adrian
One out,
Lopez.
nobody on base. Mike Anu on deck if they can get to him. Trying to avoid the Olympic rings. Start with 3 strikeouts. That's a hat trick. 4's golden sombrero. Very rare to get the Olympic rings. Lopez sees the first pitch, changeup, swings through it for strike 1.
I'm more known as the platinum sombrero.
I was going to say,
Olympic rings.
You showed me the Olympic rings, and I was like, I've been covering baseball for a while. I've never heard of that. I like it, though.
Yeah, works.
5 rings, makes sense. 0-1, and a foul tip from Lopez. That pitch was way down in the zone. It probably would have been ball 1, but Lopez swung anyway. All he could do was foul it off, but he's in an 0-2 hole. So Connor Kelly threw a ball in the first pitch of the inning, and it has been all strikes since. All gas with a fastball, too. That one, 90 miles an hour. Set at the hip, comes home with a fastball just a bit high from ball 1. Lopez still looking for his first long ball on the season. Had a few of them, 4 decisions, a 3-1 record. He's looking for the save tonight. Pitch, fastball, outside for Zone has shrunk a little bit. The Harbor Hawks dugout not happy with the call, and a payoff pitch incoming to Adrian Lopez. Glove halfway down the thigh before he comes set. Now he sets at the hip, and it'll come home with a payoff. Change-up, tipped into the mitt. Brody breaks it, strike 3. 5th strikeout of the game for Adrian Lopez. The platinum sombrero, the Olympic rings, whatever you want to call it, but the Commodores are down to their last out, and their best hitter for Mike Anu. Falmouth had Hyannis down to their final 4 outs of this ball game, but 2-out production again has stung the Commodores. They took a 6-5 lead in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch changeup low to Mike Anu. Double in the first inning and a 2-run double back in the 7th. He is now 2 for 3 today after walking in the 3rd inning. The only out was a pretty hard and deep fly out into right field. 1-0 missed. The pitch out was low, but New tried to go down and get it, and the Doors are down to their final strike. 2-2 counts. Falmouth got the scoring started with 2 runs in the first. They added on to the 3rd, a 3-0 lead before the Harbor Hawks tied it up at 3-3. 2 runs in the 7th thanks to this man Mike Anu for a 3 spot in the bottom of the 8th for the Harbor Hawks. The 2-2 is low. It's the wrist of Brody Briggs. It's ball 3. And Briggs is going to take some time to readjust after an awkward play into his catcher's mitt.
He got caught kind of in between space where he wasn't sure if he should flip it over to the forehand or keep it on the backhand, and kind of got caught in the middle of that decision. That stings a little bit. Full confidence in his pitcher as he taps his chest, says, I got you, I got you.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 6-5 Hyannis lead at the top of the 9th. Nobody on base, and the Commodores Mike Anu at the plate. Payoff pitch, foul back, brought the heat, and New got a piece. We will do it again. Everybody in McKeon Park on their feet. Commodores trying to avoid falling back to 3 games under 500. Payoff again, grounded on the 3rd base line. Off the glove by Davis, but picks it up, throws high. He sailed it. New around first, getting to second base. Throw to second from the catcher. Briggs, he got him! What a way to end it! Brody Briggs backs up the play and gets the runner at second base. Avenges the error by Miles Davis by firing one to second, and News caught on the base paths. That'll do it. It's a 6-5 final from McKeon Park.
The Harbor Hawks 6.
The Falmouth Commodores just 5 runs on 6 hits. They made 2 errors. The Harbor Hawks 6 hits on 9 runs. And the Commodores sole possession in last place here in the West Division.
That play kind of just symbolized that entire game and maybe even the season for the Commodores. Man, there's plenty of games you can look back in a season, you know, with this being 40, it makes it even more micro, where you look back at certain games and you say, we really should have won this one. And that's what the Commodores are saying to themselves right now, where you had this game in the bottom of the 8th where you nailed it, 4 outs away from victory in a 2-run lead, and it escapes by you.
Commodores 0-4 on the season against the Harbor Hawks now. They'll have 1 attempt to not get swept in the season series after the All-Star break back at Gov Fuller Field. As the Falmouth Commodores drop to 12-15-1 on the season. Hyannis Harbor Hawks up to 12-13-3 on the summer. That'll do it for our coverage here from McKeon Park and our coverage before the All-Star break. Short 12-game stretch after the All-Star break, and that's a big one for Falmouth to try to make the playoffs. They will have an uphill climb in front of them, but definitely not one out of reach in a very jumbled up West Division. You can catch the All-Star game on Cape League TV with our very own Ryan Martin alongside some YD broadcasters. You'll see 8 different Commodores there from